Hello. Yeah, it does say "Oh God" on the subtitles as a result. Hello, everyone. My name is Fiona, and welcome to this very special stream, a live stream, sorry, of What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast happening here on the OneShot Podcast Twitch channel. Woohoo! Indeed. Let me know if the music is too loud. We are back for our monthly show here for a wonderful game of A Land Wants Magic, a conversational post-fantasy world-building TTRPG by award-winning game designer Viditya Voleti. Sorry, I instantly fucked up. Viditya Voleti, who is our wonderful facilitator here today. Woohoo! Our Land Wants Magic is currently crowdfunding as a part of Pocketopia, but on BackerKit, and there's a few days left to support. If you enjoy what you see here, please go check it out and grab yourself a coffee. There's a link in the chat, and there'll be some links in the show notes as well. We're also delighted to be joined by our wonderful friends and colleagues here at the One Shot Podcast Network. We're going to go around the proverbial table and introduce ourselves, give our names, pronouns, a quick visual description for those people who aren't necessarily watching, where we could find you, and of course an answer to my icebreaker question. I always like doing icebreaker questions because it puts everyone on their toes. The icebreaker question for this particular stream is: if you were planning a holiday trip to a fantasy or sci-fi world of any media, so TV, film, book, or video game, etc., which one and why? So I will start to give you an example. So my name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns. I am a woman that's wearing sort of a black hoodie, sort of mid-length brownie blondie hair. I am an improviser, an actual play performer, and TTRPG podcaster. I am very bad at taking holidays, but if I did get a chance to go, I think, maybe controversially, I would go to Rapture from the BioShock series. I love a good underwater city. I think, anything that's planned in like the 1940s at Art Deco, of course it's terrible to be there, don't get me wrong, but I just enjoy that. It looks very beautiful, this idea of a utopia, and then goes into a dystopia instantly. So
are you committing to being in Rapture like post-fall?
Okay. Or is this is like not 1967, right? Like not 2 years before.
No. No. Yeah, it's definitely afterwards. So you go and visit. That's the plan. I'm gonna go to Shaghik next. Please, could you introduce yourself first, our friend?
I'm panicking so hard trying to think of a vacation answer. Hello, I'm Shaghik. My pronouns are she, her, I. What am I saying? What am I rolling?
Where can we find you? Like, what do you give you a visual description?
Right. Yes. Hello. I am a light skin, plus size woman with dark hair and dark eyes, and I got some lipstick on. I'm wearing a brown jacket, and I got mushrooms on my shirt, and I got a big water bottle.
Nice.
Thanks.
Good.
And you're on vacation. Okay.
Well, where can we find you? What are you up to? What do you do?
Oh God. I've got a podcast. Is that what? Yes, sure. It's called Roll by Myself. It's a solo actual play. There's a new episode out tomorrow. I'll talk about this more on the outro. I don't want to take up too much time with that. Thanks for the stink. Wait, I'm confused. Anyway, vacation times. Where would I go for a vacation? I'm just gonna go whatever it was that I have had time to come up with and remember about. One of the more recent Doctor Who episodes, there's like a time hotel that they've got where there's a bunch of different doors to different periods of time, and I am a time travel bitch, so I would love to go there.
Just you go to the hotel and then pick from there. So you go to the hub itself. Nice.
God, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
I love that. Benjamin, can you introduce yourself first, please?
Hi, I'm Benjamin Gray. He, him. You can call me Ben. I'm like a kind of a bigger guy. I'm a white guy, and I have blonde hair that's bordering on just being straight up white hair. And I wear cool square glasses, and I have a black T-shirt with Johnny and the Black Frames, which is a local punk band to me. And I think I really like the cold, so I think I would go to Alaska.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The fictional.
I love the
fictional
Alaska. I wish it was real. Please, trust me. I wish Alaska was real. I've always wanted to see a moose, but moose aren't real. So I can't see one of those for real, but if I could go to Alaska, you better believe I would.
Do you want to pick like a specific like media and Alaska mentioned in a piece of media.
Go to the DuckTales.
Yeah. Yeah. But it'll have some. It's not Anchorage. It'll have some like punny food name. It'll be like anchoviage or something. You know?
Yeah, you nailed it, actually.
Yeah, that's where I would go. It's the DuckTales. It's the DuckTales
Amazing.
Anchoviage, Alaska.
Amazing.
Good job, team. We made a fantasy world together.
We got
Well done.
there.
Let's
Roll
wrap it up.
credits.
All right,
Wrap it
outros.
up.
Let's do
Let's
outros.
go.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I've
Yeah.
been Shaghik.
I'm going to move it over to John. John, can you introduce yourselves for us, please?
Hello, I am John, one half of the System Mastery podcast. I am a white guy with a beard and brown hair in my new No Fear Man Thing hoodie, which is great because
So
those
good.
who know fear burn at the touch of Man Thing. So it's no fear. So I won't. For me, you can find me at systemmasterypodcast.com. We have so many podcasts we do. And I feel like the whole like time hotel thing got me thinking, because I am a huge alternate universe person. That's my favorite thing. And so I feel like I would just want to do sliders. Like I just go take the sliding device from Sliders and just go hop around different weird universes.
Nice. Love that. Very
That's
good.
really cool.
And last but by no means least, Viditya, could you introduce yourselves for us, please?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everybody. I'm Viditya. I use he/him pronouns. You can find me online everywhere at Viditya Voleti. I am a brown man with a beard and curly black hair, and I'm wearing like a gray sweater. I think that's about it. Dark hair, dark
Just
eyes.
that.
Headphones on. Yeah. Now I kind of wish I had better character design today, but that's okay. If you see my pants, I have character design as an outfit, but you can't see everything. So, I'm a game designer, primarily by trade, and a games educator, also primarily by trade. And let's see. Okay, I've been really because I got to do this last. I've been really thinking about it. I tried to think of like some fun, funky answer, or trying to go like, oh, let's go niche or let's go whatever. I think, I kind of want to go to. I think it's just because it's been on my mind and I've been playing it. I just want to go to the Citadel in Mass Effect.
Ooh.
Well, what's your
That's
favorite
the
score
other
there?
one I was gonna say. That's the other one I was thinking of. Go on.
I was really glad that you didn't say the Citadel because I thought you were going to. Wait, what was your question, John?
No,
I said, what's your favorite store on the Citadel?
terrible. Get out.
This is my favorite. So, what's the one that Commander Shepard said? I really like that one. Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. My other one was gonna be Monster Hunter, like one of the Monster Hunter villages. But I don't think I'd survive. So.
Oh, well, fair enough. Well, thank you everyone for introducing yourselves and like not bemusing me, but sort of indulging me. There you go, indulging me with my little icebreaker question. Let's get started, shall we? So I'm going to hand it over to our wonderful facilitator to start us off on this little world-building TTRPG. So just take it away for us.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for coming and playing A Land Once Magic. Woo! I love it. I posted a little a PDF in chat that we can kind of walk through together. And that's mostly how A Land Once Magic is going to go. It's a game that we're going to just kind of walk through all these tables and go through all the procedures, and we're going to make a world together. The only materials that you need are a deck of cards. If you do not have a deck of cards, I have a deck of cards in front of me, and I can draw for you. Or any of us can. So it's not...
Don't
Ooh, a
panic.
fresh deck.
Yeah.
I have a deck of cards. I just wanted to get my other one, but it's in the other side of the room, and I don't want to get up.
I could get a deck of cards, but I want other people to do things for me.
That's
Yeah.
non-behavior there.
You're gonna have to pick who. who draws for
Yeah,
you. Then
There's 4 decks here, I'm sure. Every
Yeah,
time
yeah,
it
yeah.
comes up, I'll pick a new person.
Yeah.
Jokers?
Uh,
Jokers in there?
Oh,
We're gonna play with jokers because there's a new thing I'm adding with jokers. So when a
Nice.
joker shows up, we're gonna try it. I can't help but do little play tests every time I play this game. I love this game; it's constantly in motion. So yeah, we're gonna try a joker thing. If it shows up, we're gonna.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm using this deck then, because the other one doesn't have jokers. So there you go.
Oh, there you
Worked
go.
out.
Okay, so new joker mechanic. Jeff Stormer in chat. So
Mechanic drop.
Although we don't need the cards for the first thing that we're gonna do, but Alanos Magic starts with us kind of creating a broad like picture of our world. Not even like before we even think about what kind of world building we're gonna do, what our world could even possibly look like and what's in it, we're gonna do some kind of broad strokes. I call this kind of like I've recently been thinking about it like it's like doing like a mise en place of world building where it's like you set all your ingredients up and then you start cooking. So we're gonna make a palette and then pick some touchstones. A palette is a set of just descriptive single words that start to create some funky little picture. I like to do palette. It's technically in the book, but I like to do palette in the way where we each are gonna pick 2 words, and then we could probably use like our shared Discord chat if everyone's able to get back in there. Type your 2 words down, and then we're gonna all at the same time hit send, and then we kind of look at all of the palette words together, and then we're going to narrow it down basically, and then each of us get to pick one of them, and we see which ones are similar, and we either like pick one or fuse them, and we get to see some fun ones that are contradictory, and then bring some of those in. Palette words in general, I have.
Oh, sorry, go on. I thought you were finished. Go on.
Oh, I'm just gonna be like palette words. I have a list of palette words that we can use. You are welcome to just pick from them. That is completely fine. If you're having trouble coming up with some, if not, you can always make your own. But yeah, just think broad. Just think words that you think will be fun. You don't even need to think about what the world, how it'll impact the world if you don't want to.
Okay.
I mean, as a big plus to the design of this game, I was thinking of words and then checked the palette, and they were in.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Hell
My
yeah.
mode. My mode.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Actually love that. Yeah, the palette words have gone through several like iterations. It's actually kind of weird curating just like a list of some 40 descriptive words.
All right. I've got my words.
This is my brood of
Also-
words. These
I've
are
got my
favorite.
words ready. Also, I'm
Two?
gonna
Just the two?
make
Yes, too. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sorry,
make a little
Shaghik.
prediction of what's gonna happen during the stream, and I'm gonna write it down on a piece of paper, and I'm gonna put it behind me.
Okay.
And now, if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna show you what I wrote in it because I don't want to embarrass myself. But
Well,
if it
that's not how
does
that
happen-
works.
You got to show us at the end, regardless. That's how it works.
Shh. But if it does happen, then I'll look so cool and smart. So I'm just gonna
All
put
right.
this right
All right.
here.
Well,
I love that.
I'll be asking for it in the outro for sure. So.
That's real.
We just
If you're a member-
pledge not to make fun of you. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I love a prediction. That's so funny.
All right. Has everyone got their words then?
I got my 2. All right.
Mhm.
We'll hit 3, 2, 1, hit send,
Dang it.
and
dang
then
it.
we
dang it.
can.
Hold on. Dang it.
Oh, Benjamin. Ooh,
No.
there's always one.
Happens every time. Happens every time.
Sorry.
Okay, got it. It was in the
I
wrong
love it.
thing.
Ah.
Oh, I love these. Okay, so I'll read them out loud, of course, for chat for people who can't see. We have
for
our
them.
what is it? Our 10 palette words are loud and frigid, bouncy, electric, cluttered, brittle, prismatic, eerie, fractal, and flooded. So we're gonna narrow these down. We're gonna pick let's do like 4 or 5 because we want to keep it nice and narrow so we can kind of point out them easily. But are there any words right out the gate that people are like, I really like this one, and I do like, preferably maybe not your own that you're looking at for other people, or that like you like that you chose that somebody else is choosing something that you feel like is in conversation.
I'm gonna say prismatic
I was
is what
about
I
to
was
say
trying to go
prismatic.
for with fractal, so I even want to like ditch fractal
Ooh.
And go for prismatic.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't even
I
know what
do.
prismatic would mean, but I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Cluttered also. Cluttered. I love
Mm.
there's so much we could do with cluttered. Immediately thought
I
of
also
Prismatic.
really like cluttered. That was the one I was going to bring up. as well.
Aha, there you
Alright,
go.
Cluttered. So we got prismatic and colored. I feel like those are really fun and exciting. Oh, another note about palette words is like it's good to also pick like contradictory ones and ones that don't feel like they immediately match, because then we make a very interesting and strange world.
Well, in that case, then I think bouncy then would go. Shahig's other word, because I feel.
That's-
bouncy.
Bouncy is very strange.
Oh,
Trying to
I hope we
picture
go
what even-
literal with that.
But I
Oh,
like
yeah.
I like bouncy and prismatic. Like those two
Mm.
things seem very like at cross purposes,
They
and I
do.
like that. I want to see
Mhm.
what happens.
Yeah, I guess when I picture prismatic, I often think of like, yeah, like shards of something, or
Like
like,
rigid,
or
yeah.
the
right?
or
Yeah.
the like prisms and
Yeah, that's
angles.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
All the
the-
worlds of bouncy
so-
castle.
We also have I'm kind of like, let's see, fractal, flooded. I picked frigid because Benjamin, you talked about
Fake
you like in the
Alaska.
cold, and that came to my mind.
Good, good.
So if we do want to like think about,
Thanks,
give our
Alaska.
world kind of a mood or a climate, it could be either, right?
Mhm.
Um,
I like it. Yeah, I'd go with frigid.
Is that our fourth word?
that would be
Because
our
I
fourth
think
word.
flooded would be as well. We're kind of.
Frigid and flooded.
I feel like
Yeah.
those two might go together.
Yeah.
You
that'd
got
be
those
fun.
ice flows.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
interesting. I think,
could-
and there's like something with bouncy, flooded, cluttered.
Yeah.
prismatic.
How would? Okay.
Well, I mean, the light that bounces off of snow is often prismatic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of the snow
nice.
crystals and stuff. It fractals out.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, we're already kind of doing it, right? Like,
doing
I feel like, so I'm gonna lock us in. I think these 5 are great. We each kind of got a say on all of them. We have a world that's going to be prismatic, cluttered, bouncy, frigid, and flooded.
Nice.
I love that idea a lot. The point of the palette is to get us into, like, now we're all kind of we each have a world in our brain that kind of comes out, and we're gonna see how it actually takes shape and form as we kind of work together. Nice, I love that. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put together some touchstones. Touchstones are more explicit than palette, which are very vague. Touchstones are going to be pretty specific. Everyone's going to pick one piece of media not traditionally considered fantasy. That's like kind of the important thing. Even though this is a post-fantasy world-building game, we're going to pull outside of itself. These can be themes, setting elements, specific moments, or just vibes, aesthetic, all these various things from the media that you want to bring in. I write in the text Cowboy Bebop as like an example for me that I usually pull in, is because I like its jazz soundtrack, or its mechanical tactility, or its themes of everlasting hardship. Like it, so I've also had people get really weird with it. Like we've had just real esoteric themes. Jeff Stormer's in chat. Jeff on the OneShot did
Yeah.
was it Thousands of Beavers was the
Classic.
That movie rules, and I can't get anyone else to like it. So thank God you brought it up.
yeah,
Oh my
that's
God.
Jeff. It's one of Jeff's favorite favorite movies. And so he did cartoon logic, or no, that's not what it is. He did like Hundreds of Beavers. Yeah, it's like, God, what even was it? It was like it was like defiance of the world's rules or something like that.
Mhm.
And then on the other hand, I've also had people do like Legally Blonde, very outside of either
Yeah.
fantasy or sci-fi, or House MD. So yeah. And then my last thing I'll say about touchdowns before we all pick them is, if you are having trouble thinking of something, just pick the thing. Either pick something that you like, or pick the thing that you're currently watching, and be like, I like this thing about it. Let's bring it in.
Yeah. I like this.
Yeah.
And we don't need to go in any specific order. There's nothing about it. Just if somebody has something.
Okay, I got some.
Go for it.
I am gonna go a little. Okay, I'm gonna go a little loose with the prompt. So if it's too open-ended, then please tell me to come back down to earth. But okay, I'm gonna use my dreams as a touchstone.
Okay.
Nice.
They're not traditionally fantasy, so you're great.
Yeah.
Are dreams
Sometimes,
media?
of course.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Are they media? Yeah, that's actually.
Okay. If no, totally fine. Honestly, I can come up with something else after some other people go. But basically, what I was thinking is, so you know, earworms. People get music stuck in their heads. I get that really heavily, to the point where very frequently I'll wake up while singing a song in my head, like already realizing this song has been playing while I was dreaming. This song was playing while I was dreaming. I remember that now. So I kind of, I don't know. I want to say I've been trying my fucking best to not think about this for the last 2 weeks.
Incredible.
Because I was like, I need to come up with something in the moment, but I came up with it in the last 2 hours. I couldn't get myself to not think about it. But yeah, like I thought maybe like there's always music playing associated like with people. Maybe people have like theme songs or something, or maybe like time periods have like theme songs, like sort of see how seasons change. The sort of song that, or the vibe of song that's playing at all times changes or something.
That's interesting.
And then that
'cause
could,
it
like,
sort of
affect
goes into what I was thinking.
emotions.
Oh.
Okay. However,
Yeah.
if too abstract, I can go with my other thing, which is a book I'm reading right now. The only other thing that I could go with, because I don't want to do Mass Effect again, which is a book I'm reading called Rejection, and it's a collection of short stories about modern dating. But I don't know if I could find something that works with that one. I'll be honest with you again.
Hey, it's the whole point of this is that we're doing prompts. It doesn't matter where it comes
Yeah.
from. So.
I actually I think specifically your dreams and the fact that there is a world that has like the touchstone is theme songs, like specific theme songs, is very funny to me. I think I think we could do something fun with that. And if we do have like kind of overlapping or different versions of touchstones and stuff, I'd also really love to think about what that looks like.
Yeah.
I say we always go for the weirder one, in my opinion.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
John, you
'cause-
said you're similar, right? That's what you were thinking.
I mean, basically bleeds sort of into what I was thinking, which was Jaws.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like constant dun,
Yeah.
dun, that like you have that knowledge, like because of the score, because of the music, you know something isn't right,
Love
but you
that.
can't tell where it is. You're just like, I can hear that something is wrong.
That's really
Man,
crazy how like,
That one kind of works for mine.
I like that. I'm gonna so it's like this constant reminder of dread. Is
Yes,
that kind of a
I
good
feel
way to
like
put
it is.
that?
Oh god. Oh Jesus.
I love it. Yes.
Great.
Okay, I love that.
Ben, did you say you
Yeah.
goes into yours? Go for it.
I want to do a Sleepless in Seattle. So one of the interesting things about Sleepless in Seattle is like Meg Ryan's character is like so sure that this person that she hears on the radio that she does not know in real life is like her soulmate, And like she even like kind of stalks him at one point, and she's like, "No, this is not normal." Like even she knows
Spoilers,
this is
man.
not normal. I'm trying not to spoil too much of it, but it's a great movie. You should watch it. And so I think I like this idea of like people having like so this background there's this background radiation of dread, but I also like this idea of like maybe people are like very separated and they have this like everyone has this like feeling that their soulmate or someone they yearn for or someone who's important to them is like out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's someone
Ooh.
whose soundtrack matches their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
You
I
need to
needed-
find the duet.
Yeah. The harmony,
the little motifs that sort
the
of one
motifs.
starts.
Everyone is calling me out for spoilers for Sleepless in Seattle. It came out in 1993.
A long time ago,
It's my
yes.
fault that you were
I
seeing it.
wasn't alive back then,
Oh,
alright?
no, don't
I
pull
do
that
love
card.
There's for Sleepless in Seattle 1993.
It's one of the less problematic movies from 1993.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
No,
Sure, I mean,
the
topic-
New York Times crossword recently.
I'm gonna write this down and just let me know if you want me to specify it more as like yearning for another. Is that kind of the
Not
you-
just for someone far away who you don't know.
there we go.
Oh,
Yearning for someone.
Love that. Love that.
Yearning for the unknown.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a clear picture of your soulmate is like in your heart, in your mind. I don't know.
Oh, yearning for
You'll be in my heart.
The Tarzan version, absolutely.
Near, far, where you are. Oh man. Oh, that's so cute.
All right, I'm gonna go with the gut instinct I had until all three of you went and changed it.
No.
We're all
please,
making
please.
a musical. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
We can listen. You could do anything, right? Like aesthetic
Music,
vibes.
welcome to the musical episode of What Am I Rolling?
Yes.
we do have a lot of broad themes, so we
Yeah.
can.
I'll
We
make it
need
a
a
little
wild card.
Yeah, I'll make it a little bit more specific. So I've been recently running lots of Blades in the Dark, and so as a result, one of their touchstones is Peaky Blinders. So this idea of criminal gangs in Bristol, families, and that sort of thing going against each other, and just again, we'll maybe not describe graphic violence and stuff like that, but the idea of rival gangs fighting for competition in areas is what I was thinking of.
I
Pickle
love
fights.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
Peaky
more
Blinders.
industrialized, perhaps. If that-
Gangs fighting for
Maybe even status or
status is nice.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay, love that. And then I've actually I'm cheating a little bit. I knew exactly that. I was like, the next time I play Eleanor's Magic, whatever it's gonna be, I'm gonna just toss this one out because I've had them on my brain. I'm just doing Gundam mechs.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm keeping it simple. I'm just being like, I don't know. I kind of want to make a world with however we think mechs will look like.
Mhm,
but-
mhm.
I'll be honest with you.
Incredible.
Now that you say that, I'm surprised Mex didn't come up with a one-shot episode. Now that I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
Although, I mean, I don't know. I haven't listened to the last third of it yet because I haven't edited yet. It's not
You
out
never-
yet, so who knows?
You never know when mechs are gonna come up.
Yeah.
we never know. when
Sneaky
mechs are gonna come up.
mechs.
Yeah, we're doing mechs.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's
That's nice.
touchstones.
Nice.
So our
I'm-
touchstones are
The mechs that are present in a lot of different types of media. Is there specific to Gundam something about them that?
I guess kind of their vibe, like their aesthetic.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna pull like Gundam's like what Gundam's mechs represent. That's not what's important, right?
Yeah.
Because mechs can represent a bunch of things based on what you look at. I
Mhm.
guess I'm like Gundam to me was the media that I'm thinking of. I could maybe go in a different direction, but
Mm.
otherwise I just say mechs.
Yeah.
Like just the
Ooh,
concept
let's
of
go
mech.
mechs.
I'll strip-
Underwater bouncy mechs who have theme songs and are yearning for their love far away from them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna scrap Gundam. Don't even need to think about them that way. I think they're even like I think they're setting an aesthetic that
Yeah.
I wanna leave open also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh Okay, cool. So our touchdowns are Shaghik streams of theme songs and background music to kind of a lot of things in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Jaws is constant reminder of dread through the like dun dun dun. Sleepless in Seattle's, and I wrote the full line: yearning for the soulmate you have a clear picture of in your heart.
Amazing.
Mine's a little wordy.
It's a little wordy, but it's
A little
fine. I mean,
wordy.
it gets the
Hi,
point.
we get
Little
it.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Peaky Blinders is gangs fighting for status. This I like that a lot. And then just the concept of mechs.
Nice.
All right, lovely. So we've kind of gone through. We've kind of gone through the entering the world is what this is called. So we
Mhm.
have this idea of what we want to do. We have all these broad strokes, themes, concepts that we want to bring in, palette. The point of this, before we fully jump in, is this is kind of a calibration also, is like throughout play, we can point to these things and be like, oh, I'm drawing from this palette, or I want to kind of pull from this touchdown. And then also at any point, if if we feel like we're moving away from the stuff that we established earlier, so if somebody's like bringing something in that you're like, well, I don't know, like I feel like this isn't as like bouncy as, or we can maybe make this more bouncy, or we can this is really one of the touchdowns we were talking about, then this is a good way to also like recalibrate. And also throughout play we could be like, oh, we haven't seen mechs yet, I want to bring in mechs, or there's not a lot of
Not enough
clutter.
dread. Not enough dread.
Yeah, like I feel like our world isn't cluttered enough.
Okay.
So we use these as ways to kind of justify a lot of the stuff that we're doing.
Cool.
Cool. So I am now going to take us to the various tables. The first thing that we're going to do is not in the PDF, is a screenshot that I sent in our chat of a table.
There's so many things to get.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Please, it's fine.
So there's kind of two types of tables in Orlando's Magic. This is kind of I don't have a good term for them, but I just call them an establishing table.
Mhm.
So there are these three little sections that each kind of fill in a sentence, and so it gives us like a prompt, and then we can expand on it and move, like add context and brainstorm together. This table is called a magic. So the way that we're going to start our game is by defining the titular magic, giving it a sort of shape that we will define as we play and get into and really kind of detail. So Orlando's Magic also is we just go around in a circle. Everybody draws a card on your turn. You do the thing, and then whoever drew the card has final say on all stuff, but you are welcome to also like be like, I have a pitch for you. Would you like, I have an idea. Do you want to hear it? Or the person who drew the card can also just be like, I'd love to hear from the table. Like,
Right.
I don't
Okay.
know if I have a great idea. So is there anyone who wants to start? And then they will draw kind of a card for this table number 1. It is said that magic was blank.
I'll go.
Go for it.
All right. Draw a
Okay,
card.
Got the deck. Ooh, 4 of hearts.
All right. So we're just looking for the suit. So heart. So it is said that magic was innate to us by
God,
blood,
okay.
by bonds, by sacrifice.
Hmm.
Do you have an idea? How is it innate to us? And we can also, if you want, we can come back to you if you want to percolate on it as we learn more context.
Percolate. Good word. Good word. Okay. Innate to us. I'm looking at our touchstones and our palette here to try to think of things. I feel like maybe either the yearning or the theme songs might come into this
Yeah.
with like.
I mean, having the sort of presented in the thing by bonds, having it be that magic was, you had an actual soulmate that was
Yeah.
in your heart that you could do magic with. And that's why everyone's like, I need to find my soulmate that's out there
That's how we could do
somewhere.
magic. Yeah.
Maybe it's like, yeah, you have like the two powers or whatever in you that on their own are nothing. They can't materialize in any way. But then once you've connected,
Yeah.
it actually can realize itself into actual magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All this like background radiation stuff, the dread, the feeling of your soulmate,
Drowns it
like,
out. Yeah.
your own theme song that you swear you can hear on the wind sometimes. Like that's all like echoes of this like once very powerful bond, right?
Yeah. Ooh, I like
Yeah,
that.
I like
I like
that
that
a
a
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's innate to us by bonds of the person that like connects us, and then we can do magic. But let's see what we could do with it. So, what does a turn order actually look like? What is is everything? Do we all have the same screen of people,
Probably
or is
not.
that not
Probably
right?
not.
No,
We don't in
probably
the video, but it goes if you need it as a description. Also for people at home as well. It's myself, Viditya, Shaghik, and then underneath we have Ben and John.
not. Okay, cool.
I could always pull for John, to be fair, because I know John doesn't have any cards on him, so we can
Yeah,
go
so
together.
Great.
I guess we can go in like the circle.
Yeah.
So I guess John would be next, and then we do Ben.
Sure.
then you,
Okay,
Fiona,
John,
then me.
tell me when.
When
All right, this one. Okay, it is the 10 of spades. So spades.
With it, we could defeat and conquer whatever stands before us.
Oh.
Wow.
Ooh, okay. So we have these bond-related magic. What kind of shape? How is it something that we were able to use to defeat and conquer?
What do you think, John?
I think that's the fact that the magic went away is why the world is so cluttered, because we used to be able to smooth things out and make things clear and open paths with this, and we could, that dread that's constantly building is cluttering things around us. And so with that bond we could destroy that, we could smooth things away, and now we don't have that.
And it's harder because it's so cluttered. It's harder to find and get to your other person and create magic.
Interesting. Okay, so it was like used to. It was used to like clear out, and then because hold on, maybe I'm missing it.
I feel like there was, in my mind, I have the idea of a lot of this being sort of all interwoven and tied together, and so that the clutter and the frigidness of the world is part of what happened by losing this ability to defeat the dread around us.
Oh, right.
And so we're constantly moving to not be gotten by it and leaving things behind, and we're cluttering everything up by always being on the move and leaving stuff behind and never being permanently somewhere. And so we used to be able to defeat that, destroy that ability, and have permanence, but
So
now
is it
we're just
like-
scattered.
So are they like in the literal way like nomadic peoples? Like are these people that don't have a specific, if we're creating like a culture, like a history, like a whatever, do they not have a specific place that they live? Are they always traveling? Is that like in the literal way what you mean?
I think there is a desire for permanence, but a need for movement because of what is in the world and because they can't defeat it anymore.
Okay, yeah.
And what about the gangs? I feel like we could also be fighting the gangs.
Well,
Well, we can. We're still very early on.
Yeah.
so
yeah.
we don't need to pull every touchstone.
Yeah.
in,
Right.
Like,
Well,
right in this
well,
moment.
just to build on what John was saying, I do like the idea.
gangs.
I do like the idea that what John was saying was that idea of like whatever happened. I know maybe this is going too much into it, but the idea that because we lost this magic to be with other people, that together we are stronger, therefore we used to fill the hole with other things, feels very much like consumerism in general. Like you buy stuff and that's why things are cluttered. You're more maximalists, and because you're trying to keep out this dread and you're trying to feel that feeling again. That's what I'm sort of feeling from that. So yeah, I like the idea of like with this magic that we have with our soulmate, with anyone together, we're stronger and keep out that existential dread. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I can really see that, and just really for me.
Yeah.
It clicked with that cluttered stuff that
Yeah.
you were just talking about.
And
I
all
do
that
like
stuff doesn't matter because they leave
Yeah.
it behind when they move somewhere else. So,
It's temporary. Whatever it is, it's
Yeah.
temporary. That sort of feeling. Yeah.
Feels kind
well,
of
now-
Minecrafty, you know? Like, I know that's a silly reference to pull, but like
No.
you use up all the stuff around you, and then
Yeah.
you move on to the next part of the
No,
map.
I
oh, I
love
see.
that.
Yeah.
Because you also usually end up leaving behind like a chest or your old crafting table or some fucking
Yeah.
You don't
the
clean up
one
after yourself.
block
in Minecraft, why
Devastation.
would
blocky
you?
little house that you made that you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now you can go make your castle that you made through a YouTube tutorial back on in a
Yeah,
mesa
yeah.
'cause you found a mesa or whatever.
I love that.
Mhm.
Well, Ben, let's. Why don't you draw a card, and then we can see. But as the world changes, magic has begun too, and so this is the. We used to be able to do this, and then how is magic
Yeah.
changing?
This is interesting. It's a 7 of clubs, which is disappear suddenly, leaving us stumbling and scared.
Oh, scared.
That fits in
Oh.
so well, I think.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
stumbling and scared, stumbling upon all the clutter.
This is how it-
Scared to find. We can't find the people to make bonds with.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
and then you
man,
stumble
the
and
idea
fall
of
and then you bounce around. Damn.
the idea of our soulmates like suddenly severed, that we maybe can't remember them anymore suddenly, and they are somewhere else. And
Wait, does that imply that we at some point knew exactly who our soulmate was and where they went?
I mean, we had the idea in there of like, oh, you have a picture in your heart of like who your
Right.
soulmate is, and that picture has become like pixelated. Like
Yeah.
it's under like a sort of fuzzy screen where you're like, I can
that
kind of
twists up my
tell.
stomach.
Because it's underwater. You're really deep underwater, so all the colors are, you know.
Yeah, but also I guess that idea of like you know it when you see it, that sort of thing. So that again, the harmonies of your songs or whatever tuning in
Yeah.
together. That's the other thing, like the time signatures as well that you maybe can't hear. So that, yeah, that picture in your heart, but like that, and maybe it's that idea of like that thing of rom-coms, like, oh, your hearts are beating in time or whatever. And
Yeah.
maybe
Because I think I like being that, like, it's disappearing suddenly, but people are still able to use it, or there's like bits of it that
100%.
are still out there.
it's not
And there
strong.
just there feels like something very rom-com-y, like romance story about that, where it's like,
Mm.
oh,
I was in Seattle.
magic is going away, but like I can still find love, or I've found my bond, which I think is fun to leave out
wanna
It's
there.
very
watch
cute.
that.
I love the idea
I
of
want
there
that
being
now.
like missed connections for things where you're like, I did magic when I was in the market. That means my soulmate was there,
Was
and I don't know who it was.
Oh, I love that.
That's really good.
Yes. It's really
Maybe
cool.
it's like
Or-
maybe it's like either your soulmate was there or you were like somebody who knows somebody who, like, the less degrees of separation you are away from your soulmate.
Kevin Bacon was in the market, and I did a little bit of magic.
I did a little bit of magic. Or this, like, there's also a real sadness that, or not like sadness, but you could be like, we can do so, like me and my partner can do some magic, but like we're not soulmates, so it's like,
Oh.
but like I don't know.
We
There
saw
could
you
also be a
across
beauty-
the bar and doing magic, and we really like your vibe. We think maybe you can do magic.
Oh my god!
Baby, I think
Um,
we could be magic together.
I think we can. Do magic together. Oh shit!
I
All
love
right,
that.
I love this image of what magic is, and again, like, we don't know exactly what the magic does and all these different things, and we'll kind of flesh that out as we go. To pull us back to the PDF now, we're gonna make a legend, which is a very similar prompt table of 1, 2, 3, and so a legend. A story that is told and then warped into something else. This is an old legend for the world. This legend will help build a foundation for the kind of stories that shape the cultures of your world. It will also create at least one major faction and an idea of our current world state. So this is just a legend. So we start our story. We start our world with a story that is told. Who is next? It's Fiona.
It's me.
So Fiona, you will draw a card for A Legend is Told of.
All right, so I'm going to shuffle the cards just to make sure, and then I have. It's another spade. It is a Jack of Spades. If that means anything.
It is. That means that it is A Legend is Told of. Oh, Spades, a band of rebels.
Oh well, that works out. There's your.
That works
there's
out
your-
very nice. The Forward
Great.
Dawn, Umbra's March, the Second Sun. So it could be. You can give it a name if we want.
Mhm.
And then, is that our gangs?
Could
I
be.
feel
Could
like-
be.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be emulating the legend because this is a legend that we had.
Hmm.
Cool blue
Uh,
reason.
Also, yeah,
Oh,
like to look forward. It's like A Legend is Told of a band of rebels. Their tales tell of something. But
Mhm.
now the legend has been warped, giving rise to blank. So like
Okay.
we'll see
We'll
like
get
so
there,
what
yeah,
is
yeah,
the
Are you asking me for a really cool name to come off the spot?
it's always the worst. Oh, you can also come back. We can always
Oh
come back.
no! The one thing people know about me is I'm gonna improvise straight away, and we're just gonna go with it. So the way we do this, we look around the room to find something important. I'm gonna go with
Don't do yak
Okay.
again.
no. I'm not gonna do Lucy and Yak again. I'm gonna do the Kansas Cauldrons. Kansas
Oh,
Cauldrons.
The
Ooh.
Kansas.
So
Cauldron.
Kansas exists in
Kansas
our
exists.
world.
But it's
Yeah.
called
Here
like
we-
it's called like
it's the
Can's
DuckTales,
ass. It's Can's ass
Kansas.
cauldron.
Look, I don't know what I'm looking at a soccer scarf. That's all I can tell you.
Kansas cultures. You know, just like how Alaska's a fictional
yeah,
state.
Yeah.
a place
Right.
called
It's
Kansas.
like
There's no place like Kansas. Not even in our world.
Literally,
So
no place. It
Whoa.
doesn't exist.
there you go. There you go.
Well, there is Arkansas, and that's
Yeah.
close.
There's our
Our
Kansas.
This is our Kansas down
You
here.
don't fuck with their Kansas.
This is where the pirates live. This is our Kansas.
Yeah. In our flooded
Kansas.
future world, yeah.
In our flooded world.
Okay, so I will then,
Flooded world.
I'm gonna draw for their tales tell of 2 of clubs. So their tales tell of foundational morality.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
think I like in our world with what our magic is about. I think there's probably like a band of rebels have to be rebelling against something. So
Mhm.
I'm thinking out loud. It's like it's probably like maybe there used to be like a strict rule or restriction on like who your bonds are, and this is like like cauldron also feels like maybe it's like a melting pot of stuff, and it's like no, like bonds could maybe be community, or bonds can be like maybe it's because I brought up like the people can have like do lesser magic with people that they're not like soulmates with. It could be like, oh, as a group we can still do great magic even if it's not like
Yeah.
the one, and maybe like
Yeah.
that's kind of the morality. It's like it's
Yeah.
it's like think together rather than separate.
Yeah, I guess it's exploring lots of different kinds of relationships, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
soulmates
the
can be.
establishment might have been like, if you find your bond, you have to marry them
Yes,
and stay
exactly.
with them.
right.
It
Yeah.
is a singular type of relationship.
Yeah, rather
Can
than
different
like,
types of bonds create different types of magic?
I'm thinking yes. I like that thought
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
and I say I'm gonna keep this as an open-ended question. It's like what's the most powerful magic, or what's the most like destructive magic or something? I want to
Oh
try to
god.
find that
Oh,
out.
a parent and a child.
Chronomancy.
If you can like
Both.
if you can see who you're bonded with like in your heart, then I think that suggests a level of like mind reading, which can be
Ooh.
pretty rough, you know.
Oh no, I just thought of something.
Mhm.
With
Oh.
mechs, it's
Oh, okay.
Yes.
it's like being drift compatible in Pacific Rim.
I had thought about that earlier because I was like, how are
Yeah.
we going to bring mechs into this? And I was like, well, obviously it's drift
Well,
compatibility.
obviously it's drift compatible. So yeah, I imagine there's like the stronger, the more you can just pull out of each other. Okay, so we also have foundational morality.
What
Yeah,
was
like
Ben?
different.
What was the thing you were saying about reading people's minds? Can you say that again?
Just like if you can like see into another's like if we have this like bonds with each other, you know, in real life we kind of live alone in our brains and in our minds, and so if in a fantasy world, if you have some kind of like intimate bond with someone, then it suggests that like there could be some kind of mind reading thing that could happen,
or
like
just even like reading them in general, like the idea that you know your partner, like you know exactly when they're upset, even if they don't say anything.
I think you could harness that in like a dark way, though.
Maybe you know they're upset because your magic is weaker, and like they're maybe feeling distant a little and cold, and you're not able to. Whatever.
I think we should really pull
Look,
it.
a lot of guys can't get the magic when you want it on command.
I promise this happens to a lot. This is really
Look, a lot of
normal. It
wizards
happens
have
to a
problems
lot
with
of guys.
this, okay?
This is-
Look, I'm gonna get a magic potion from the witch, and I'll be good to go in 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal.
Nothing embarrassing about it.
Oh my god. Let's finish out this table. Shaghik, give me the. But now the legend has been warped, giving rise to blank. So you're gonna draw a card.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So now time has passed, right? This is the legend, the story that we tell people, and then how has it been warped? A 8 of clubs, 6 of clubs.
Giving rise to industry. 6 of clubs.
Industry.
All that
Industry.
clutter.
So can we do real quick a recap? So our band of rebels, what was the foundational morality that they had?
They had like, it's like different types of bonds are as important as just like the one like love soul connection.
Anarchy.
Yeah.
It's
relationship
dating,
anarchists is exactly
like,
what they are. Yeah.
Industry of like dating websites, but for all kinds of relationship, or like not necessarily websites if we don't want to create fucking the internet in our world.
Well,
but
more like the inner mech.
Industries where industries that will help you find strong bonds. Maybe like if you're like, are you seeking this one specific type of magic? We'll help you find the person or people that you will be able to create this thing with. Or
well, yeah, I think it's like again, not to dive too much into real world like stuff right now, but the idea of like preying on people who maybe can't find their person or struggling to find person. It's like, hey, you don't need those people, come with me, you're better without them. You know,
hey, you want an AI girlfriend?
Well, I was thinking of that earlier, that was like some of the clutter could just be like, we just make crap to try to like replace that.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think the idea of industries popping up, I guess not dating websites, but that idea of like people or this competition, like maybe you need to be better. So we talked about that, the idea of potions, even jokingly about wizards, like, oh, this will make you brainier, nicer, smarter. It will really attract people, get your soulmate. It's ways to get your soulmate that help you. So then maybe there's these fake sort of snake charm, snake oil individuals that are selling you stuff in order for you to definitely find that person.
It's like pickup artistry. It is kind of what it them, right? Yeah.
Oh god.
You got to start magic peacocking.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Maybe if you love. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Go on.
Oh no, I just wrote like if this sounds right, like giving rise to industry, and it's like the dating and marriage industry of trying to help you find soulmates and bonds. Like that's kind of what we're getting at here.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, and
very different kind of industry than I've actually ever seen.
But also, I think, again, not to make it too much real world, but there's this idea, certainly feels like in the US at least, that idea of like, well, you get married now, get married young, and then you're set for the rest of your life. So maybe that's the whole point. It's like if you don't find your soulmate or whoever it is, then you're not complete. And it feels like maybe that sort of idea of your regency as well, like, oh, she's a spinster, she's put on the shelf, but she's only like 23 or something ridiculous like that. You don't have your purpose unless you have your soulmate. You know.
I might pull us back a sec, because it's the kind of point of this is that like the legend has been warped. So it's like if like the Kansas cauldrons are about different kinds of bonds are just as important as marriage, then like I think it's like similar to what we're saying, but it's like in the same direction, but maybe like no. Like you should be diversifying your bonds. Like it's like they kind of have that same level of intensity,
bonds.
but for like
100%.
here's your dating app to find like the person that you like carpool to work with. Here's the
Well, look, humans will pack bond with anything. You can bond with a toaster if you want to, and I've got one for you.
Yeah.
It's that same level.
Someone in the chat says, "What if people bond with mech AI as a substitute for the soulmate bond magic?"
Oh,
Chorus
yeah,
of
that's
echoes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
I'm
I
thinking
love
this is a
that.
bit of a loose, random thought, but what if like, God damn it, what if like love bombing somebody will allow you to like a cheap substitute for a quick magic thing, but then it somehow like harms the person.
Yeah, well, it
that
didn't
was
mean
done
anything.
to.
Didn't mean anything. You're just using them for their
Yeah.
magic. Yeah.
Maybe like like in the long term it weakens their magic, or both of your magic
Yeah.
or whatever. Also, so the thing you said, Fiona, about like, oh, gotta get married fast, otherwise you're missing out, or whatever it was. But I think maybe like the longer you are with your soulmate, the magic you're able to do becomes more powerful with time. And so, you know, the earlier you find them, the more powerful you can eventually be. So if you find your soulmate only when you're like 45, you might not be able to realize the potential of all the magic it can do.
Or at least that's what they say.
Yes,
That's what they say.
it's very keeping up with the Joneses, isn't it? Like, oh, they're so perfect, and they got married young, and they've got 3 kids, and now they're doing, I don't know, amazing Catherine cartwheels like magic outside in the beyond. I can't do that.
Now she does hot yoga.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm loving this. I'm moving us forward because I think we're gonna get gonna get real deep, and I'm
also
into
everything's underwater, guys. Let's remember this is all flood.
Maybe.
Or
Hey,
we're
flooding
on top
doesn't
of
mean
it, or
underwater.
like yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, but I like we got to keep that right. Like it's,
Right.
we're all. But so this is now what we're gonna do is all of that stuff. So we're gonna move to a world. That's the next table, and this is us zooming out. So we've kind of talked kind of the history of our world, right? Like magic. It is said that magic was this, but now it's disappearing suddenly. There's a legend told of the Kansas cauldrons, but now it has risen to. It has given rise to this predatory industry. We're going to take a step back, broad look at our world, and just answer some broad world building questions.
Somebody in chat said the flood could represent the pervasive background sadness.
Oh yeah,
Very good.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be water.
flood, cluttered, horrifying.
Oh good.
So this is a different kind of table, so we're going to go around. I like to do everybody answers 2 questions, so we'll do 2 rounds of this.
Nice.
And you're going to draw a card and compare it to the table and answer the question. And that's pretty simple. I think it's who's the last person? So John, you're the first one to go for this.
All right.
Right.
Who
Who
wants
wants
to
to
somebody's
tell,
gonna
tell me when, John.
All right. And
Oh, there you go.
Stop.
All right.
You should do it like tarot and whatever pops out.
It is a queen of clubs. So clubs is what we've got.
Ooh. Okay,
Queen of
cool.
Wands or
So it says Queen of Clubs, so we're gonna look at that's the magic that was. There's a few verbiage in this section that I need to change. So let's see. It says Queen of Clubs. So when magic begun changing, how did wildlife change? So when magic started to disappear suddenly, how did wildlife change?
Oh gosh.
I think when the magic started to change and we started to like lose connection and drift apart, I think the wildlife got more predatory, and that's that sort of pervasive dread you have, and the need to move is what used to be like a herd of like grazing animals would now become more vicious, more predatory, and the need to move out of migration patterns instead of following them.
Interesting.
I love that. I love that so much.
I wonder if that's because of like and like we said, like the growing thing of dread, and I think we said something about being scared, and because like we're scared, they're scared, we're scared of each other, and so they're on like self-defense type of
And
mode.
I think with the whole background music and like
Yeah.
the soul music going with people, I think it's a level of dissonance in the actual like
Ooh.
wildlife that is, it's like when, you know, fish have that sonar, and if you're having loud noises and things like that, it messes them up. They can't quite find their way, and so that dissonance in the harmonies of our connections has caused the wildlife to just not be able to be what they were. They're confused, they're scared, they're angry, they're lashing
Yeah.
I
out.
I really like that. I have a question for you. Do animals have the same type of magic as we do, like as people do? Is this like innate to all kind of living creatures, or is this like, or are they just animals that then that are reacting to us?
Well, they have different types of bonds, don't they? Animals don't have the same kind of relationships that we do.
Yeah,
But
I
this is
figure
John's thing.
it could be
Yeah.
like within a specific, like a pack or a herd or anything, they have their own sort of within that, the like song, the music that works through them, and so our own dissonance is throwing off their own bonds.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they kind of have a magic in that, and then we're clashing, and our stuff is disappearing, and it's causing these problems. So, okay,
Yeah,
I
I
love that.
Pets end up being slightly more okay in this because they don't have that sort of pack bond with a herd. So if you have like, I have an individual cat, then that cat doesn't have that same sort of like, oh, I have to be in harmony with an entire pack of cats. And so they would be more capable of being like, oh, I can hang out and be okay. But if you find like a pack of feral cats, they will mess you up.
Yeah.
But then the pet thing is, it has its own dangers, because then you have a little bit of a parent-child bond. That we talked about. It's like,
Maybe, yeah.
Is it like in Children of Men? I don't even, I'm going to spoil another movie, I guess.
Oh,
where
God.
like you know, people can't have kids anymore in that movie, and we're dwindling, and so like people have replaced it with pets. Like I feel like if this bond magic disappeared, there would be more pets. Like people would be doing whatever they could to replace it.
Feeling the hole, yeah.
Whether it's the AI,
maybe
material
taking in those
possessions,
feral
pets.
animals they shouldn't be taking in.
No, it's the max, I agree.
And it could be the idea that they're like, oh, I'm helping them. If I separate them from their pack, they'll calm down. I'm doing a good thing by separating these animals.
They're helping me, I'm helping them. Yeah.
Who rescued who?
Oh my god. Really? They rescued
I got that "Who Rescued Who" bumper sticker on the back of my mech.
Yeah, 100%. Ben, do you want to draw a card and answer a question?
I sure do. All right. I've drawn the Four of Hearts, which I think is the land, and what anomalies in the world are used as landmarks, and how old are they? Anomalies in the world. I like the idea of old, rusted out mechs, the ones we can't salvage, and I like the idea of this. There's like, let me pitch this, that like mechs are prevalent. They are all over the place. Someone else made them. A lot of what we do is like salvaging them and making them workable again, which is a lot of how we like build stuff. And I say we, I don't live here, but
no, it's us.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
I don't even go here.
I don't even live in this fantasy.
Not even supposed to
magic
be
land.
here today.
But I like the idea of like they're all different sizes.
Home.
There's little guys, there's big ones, and like so there can even be like maybe there's even like one gigantic towering one that you can see from like anywhere, and it's like rusted out. It doesn't work anymore. Maybe there's even.
I'm just imagining there's the story of like the Sleepless in Seattle of this world, where it's like meet me at the top of the old mech.
Maybe at the top of like the dreadnought mech that's like hanging out. Yeah.
The Empire
world
State
splitter.
mech.
Yeah.
Someone-
Yeah, your power.
Someone
And
in the
if your
chat said
bond
Mac
is-
in Manhattan, and like that's what this is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
If
did you
you're-
say?
if
I
you're-
love Nicholas Manhattan. It's so good.
Yeah.
If your bond is strong enough, then your magic will be strong enough to to flood out, unintended, the dread and the theme song of the dread of the mech
Mhm.
thingy,
Yeah.
whatever.
That kind of comes into the
Uh,
cluttered too, that they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially I like if we do go like kind of literal with a flooded and frigid world, it's like they're either stuck in ice, they're kind of like they
Oh.
sunk to the bottom and we only get to see like bits of them and all these things. I like the visual of that is also really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we're like building whole platforms on top of the stability of mechs as structures.
So is this
Uh,
like sort of like post-apocalyptic like zombie worlds where there's just a bunch of old cars around always? Is that what we're thinking with the mechs?
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
think
Like
of them?
like some of them are salvageable and some of them are just unusable. Like most of them
Yeah.
are unusable. I
Love
guess they can like kludge together like a working mech out of like working machines out of the mech parts that they get from like a bunch of different ones. They can like Frankenstein one together sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because no one's really staying permanently in a place. It's not like you can make a factory to start pumping parts out or anything.
But you
Yeah.
could bring the mechs with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
bring
get
the
them
mechs
working,
with
you can get them going.
Fiona, do you want to draw a card?
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna shuffle again. So like, see if we get another.
Thank you for taking all the notes, by the way, Viditya. Because I can't not be bothered to.
All right. Oh, yep.
Oh, I've
another...
stopped taking notes actually.
it's,
Well, no thanks then, D.
hey,
Yeah,
it's another clubs. It's the 4 of clubs, so it's even. If I go to, oh, I have lost the page. Give me a second. I'll open it. There we go. So even clubs. It's the land. What is a common hazard whilst traveling? What is the most feared hazard?
I mean,
Well, I think
sorry, go on.
it's okay. It's okay. I think the most feared hazard. Actually, we don't know what it is, but we know the theme tune to it. I think we always know what the theme tune is. Yeah.
So I
There's
was wondering
something
this.
under the ice.
Yeah.
So like
God,
the dread thing.
You
Like
can't
I think we've
stop
been
me
assuming that it's this like background thing, and we just don't like. It's like a miasma
Yeah.
or something. But like maybe something actually generates that. Like is that
Yeah,
possible?
I
Shadow
want to make
under the
I
ice.
want to make like a pitch. I think like if bonds are what cause magic, and we're leaving magic vague, but I'm gonna give it a little bit more shape. I think like this dread. I love the idea of like when you have a dissonant bond or something. Fear as an emotion, like fear connects people, or like the bond that you create with this horrid thing that you don't know what's under you.
Mhm.
I imagine like something actually happens, like a magic starts to happen around you that could be like an actual embodiment that we call the dread. Right?
Oh my
Um,
god, yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that. I think it's like I think again there's tales of like what will happen if you're out on say the ice too long and you've got to keep going, and then yeah, could be in before dark because that's when all this event, and then there's these tales of people saying like if you hear a certain tune then you're done for, these sort of folk tales. But of course all the tunes are slightly different because I think it's unique to that person because their own sense of dread is subjective as a result.
yeah.
And again, we can always discuss it after, but I like the idea that if anyone is left out after dark or wherever, that they come back changed in a way because their despair has got them, but they never talk about what it was. And it's that sort of, again, maybe a slight Doctor Who type thing. Is like there's like that hotel where there's always a door for you, there's always a room for you with your worst nightmare in it, and so it's very subjective.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, the Minotaur one.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could say that when they come back changed, it's because they found their true bond in the wrong direction.
Ooh,
Instead of
yeah.
finding a true bond that would be a positive
Mhm.
thing, they found a
You're-
true negative bond in the wild
Oh,
and have come back bonded to it.
the person that
yours-
like
instead
brings
of
out
your
the worst in you.
Mhm.
Not like
My
your
own
You have an
Jungian
anti-swing.
shadow has bonded with me.
yeah.
But I think
Oh, I love that.
But then that's the second part of the question. Like, what is the most feared hazard? I think what a common hazard is whilst traveling is it's connected to that. I think whether we have settlements under the water or on the ice or wherever, they're remote. We were talking about this before, that they're sort of remote. So to get to one place to another takes days of traveling. So it's all sort of like you have to get to outposts or stations or something like that. So a common hazard is that you can't be out. You've got to get to these places and safe, because then they seal off for the evening or for whatever twilight hours and stuff. So the common hazard is just time and lack of time. You can't if there's an accident or something like that, you lose time, and that's why people get, again, that sort of fear creeps up, and that's maybe people get more paranoid and stuff like that. So yeah, the common hazard is just distance when traveling.
And I think
love
that's
that.
why
I think
people
that's
are so
interesting.
into mechs, because it's basically a traveling house that you don't need
Yeah.
to worry about.
You don't need to go out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You could just like if you are stuck, you park it. You stay there. Yeah.
100%.
I think that's really cool.
Thank you.
It's just like digging
Um,
yourself down in Minecraft. It keeps coming back up again.
It
It
just
comes back to
like
Don't you do it.
Exactly.
don't you do it?
Don't you do it?
Okay. I'm gonna draw. I have the 5 of clubs, which is the cultures of our world. Where do different cultures commonly converse? Because we're moving around, I like to kind of give. We're moving around. There's a lot of distance between stuff, so it could be like these outposts. I think are probably these like midway stations, are where a ton of different cultures are. Like it's like rest areas and truck stops, I think is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Mech depots where you have to refuel. And I think like the conversing in our world, because we're so bond driven and it's all of this like connections and stuff, I think is like that's where a lot of these misconnections. What was it called? Yeah, the Craigslist misconnections.
Yeah, the
Misconnections.
Or also where probably those are happening, where it's like I was traveling from this city to that city, or from like this place to that place, and we were on like this spot, and I swear to God, like whose mech was it? Like who is it? Like my mech. I don't know. Like I don't like. I swear it levitated. Yeah. I think that's probably where these different cultures are conversing, especially if we're thinking like cultures, and if we think about like the real world, it's different cultures also have different ideas of like relationships and bond types and all these things. That's probably where different types of magic, like versions of this, are coming against each other. It's very monogamous culture can bump into very like
because
polyamorous cultures or something like that.
Because if you think about it, if we take like a love bond to mean what it's one of the stronger types of bond, like if it's stronger than a friendship bond, but then also you have community bonds. Then if you have but we're presuming but then if you have like a polycule where it's a community of love bonds, God, like that's a gang you gotta worry about.
That's a game you got to worry about. I'll toss in these kind of truck stops. Also, I'd love a name for these spaces. Like, what does anyone have an idea of what we call a safe zone, like an outpost? They could just be outposts, but I'm always open to. I love specificity, right? Give it an in-university kind
something
of name.
with the word silent, maybe like the silent fucking. Sensory deprivation zone.
I mean,
A quiet place.
Yeah, no, not a quiet place.
A quiet place. A quiet place. Part 2.
Part 2.
Much more quieter. I'm just looking over at my scarf.
No babies
again,
this time. No babies.
Silos is good actually.
Yeah, silent.
Somebody in chat says silent. Captain Construct says silent silos. I like the word silo actually.
Silo for sure. Yeah.
It could just be silo.
Yeah, and then like there's different kinds of them, right? Like so it's like there's the silent ones, and there could be other like.
Oh.
I like that. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then there's the jazzy ones. The
There's the
jazz
jazz.
Give me a
Jazzy
seat,
silo.
a bouncy seat.
The sleepless
The
silo.
bouncy silo.
Sleepless in the silo.
There's a wait list for the bouncy silo.
Yeah, that one's popular.
You gotta
Shaghik,
know the right
do you
people
wanna
to get into
do?
the bouncy silo. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to. Okay.
Go strong.
I'm gonna go with the top card of my deck right now. The Ace of Spades.
The Ace of Spades.
Spades, yeah.
The cultures. What recent invention are the people adapting to? What's the drawback? Okay. What recent invention are the people adapting to? What's the drawback? Maybe like oh, let me look at the palettes and the stuff sees. I guess maybe something that could either keep types of magic like under control or enhance them. Something that could have been done by, like, again, with the industry of like dating websites, not really, that's what I'm gonna call them. Maybe like there's also adjacent companies, whatever, that they help you find the people to do certain types of magic with, but also like with the love bombing thing, like there's like cheaper ways of getting magic, unhealthy sort of, whatever. And
I love the
what was
idea that
question?
like prostitution in this is bond walking at night, where you're like, I'll love bomb
Yeah.
you
The
for
girl-
money in
Yeah,
order to get
yeah.
you magic.
The girlfriend
Um,
experience.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was also thinking like what is like the like the Lyft or the Uber or like the
Ooh.
DoorDash or the like the kind of like delivery. I feel like what's the gig economy version of this?
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
They got the little zippy mechs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
It's
falling
like
apart.
a task rabbit like for
Yeah. That's
for
cool.
for
Tell me.
magic.
Come tell me I look cute tonight.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So the
That's so
invention-
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Just tell me you're proud of me
That
so I
makes me
can
feel
do magic
bad,
a little.
guys.
Yeah. I
I'm
can't turn
looking
on my
for-
stove.
Looking for a man that looks like my dad to tell me he's proud of me.
Guys, tell your friends you love them, okay? Tell them that
Yeah.
you're proud of them, and that
Just
their hair looks
tell 'em.
nice and stuff.
Hey.
Like everyone, it's just please be good to your
yeah,
friend.
so
Be
the
good to
invention
your
could
friends.
be some sort of substance, that you could take that, maybe like a love potion type of thing
Mm.
that,
I mean,
yeah,
could you like bottle the lightning? Could you?
you can try.
Yeah.
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 Potentially people are selling
You're
Bond
it.
trying.
enhancers.
Yeah.
So,
Again,
yeah,
just having like mood enablers of some sort, that you want to feel something, like different
yeah.
like the different extremes of emotion. Not, it doesn't have to be like love necessarily. It could be like all emotions that you
Yeah,
can feel
yeah, yeah.
safely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what if it was
Prismatic.
instead of like a drug, like a physical thing, like, oh, if you put this on you and the other person you are bonded with, then it will
Yeah.
enhance that bond for a while, but it ends
Yeah.
up being like actually
it-
physically painful and like
Oh,
bad for you. Like your hand starts to wither as you wear this thing that enhances your bond.
And
Yeah.
then you have to replace it with a mechanical part, and then you eventually turn into a mech or whatever.
And then you that's the secret
You're
to our
the
world.
mech
Mechs are
now,
people.
dog.
I do like this idea of like there's a recent invention. I brought up
What if-
prismatic again as like maybe a touchstone that we could bring in, or a
Mhm.
palette.
Yeah. Could you please expand on that, because I'm still hard. The word prismatic is still very abstract right now for me. so, like,
Prismatic is mostly like rainbow or colorful things like that,
Yeah.
but sort of like a spread amount of light and color, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could even
A
have like, oh, the
spectrum.
new thing is a prism, and then
Yeah.
if you
Does it like
Mm.
project somehow? Like there's some projector that we've made.
Maybe you project one's feelings onto other people, So like if someone is feeling an intense emotion and you want to instill that into others, maybe there's again that whole idea of like spreading out, pyramid schemes style, whether it's through potions or something, or holding a prison literally and guiding those beams and separating them off into different aspects.
Yeah, there's
Also,
a
you know
whole gang
how-
for them, the Rainbow Raiders.
Yeah, Rainbow Raiders. Yep.
Also, like, if you like, like mixing colors type of thing, where if you've got like two little glasses, colored tinted glasses, and you put them on top of each other, you get a different color, and so you could like, everybody has a color or something, and you project, and if you
Maybe. Yeah. Mhm.
whatever.
Oh no, I'm really liking what you're coming up with. I think there's something fun about like accessories that you wear that are like colored, and then by matching them with other people.
I mean, that could
perhaps,
also
like, the
be with the
point- it's-
gangs of having gang
Well-
colors.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is a
Yeah.
very particular British
Yeah.
thing. Perhaps I don't know if anyone else heard, but there's like traffic light parties you have where you can go dressed as like green, orange, and red. And green is like you're single, you're ready to mingle. Orange is like I'm interested, but I'm not so sure. Red is like I'm off limits. I don't know if that was just a very British thing, but I just suddenly
I
came
think
to
it
my
might
mind.
be.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think it might be.
Now all I can think
I
of
might
is
just-
the
I
old
might just-
fake rainbow party thing where it's like, oh, girls are putting different colored lipstick on, and
They all seem to when I go to them, they're all wearing red. I don't understand. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I always thought it'd be
Um,
cool to do a party where everyone's supposed to dress up as one half of a couple's costume and see if anyone else came as the other
Oh,
half
that's
just randomly.
That's
ah,
actually just really cute.
That's kind of
I think
out
that's
of pocket.
really funny. No, but I'm gonna take a note of that because
Yeah,
really
yeah.
funny.
For something else. For something else, yeah.
Yeah, for something else.
There you go.
Um,
Stop light party. It's called in the US. I just googled.
How
it.
about that?
Okay, Shaghik. So I think let's and like I like the shape that you taken this. Let's talk about a drawback real quick. So it's like things that
Yeah.
people wear, colors that match.
I
and
really-
change.
I really love the idea that all of these items and substances and the devices that you wear and stuff, that you can get that cheap way of like enhancing your magic short term, but long term it weakens the magic you could have, or maybe it makes it harder for your magic to grow once you do have that real bond, or
the
or
more
just
you use
using
this,
magic.
the fuzzier the picture in your heart gets. It's harder to find your true
Yeah.
bond.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it literally just makes you physically like, or your organism, like you just become unhealthier.
It could. I mean, it could be both.
Take
Maybe
a
it's
couple
like
years off of you.
yeah, or specific ones do.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. I think that's a great recent invention for our world.
Okay, one thing I wanted to say, and this is like not a small thing, but we talked about just mechs just being around. We also talked about how like, well, I kind of randomly mentioned it. I don't know if this is actually canon, but like your hand stops working. That was John's thing, and you have to replace it, and then eventually become a complete mechanical part. And then we also talked about how there's mechs all around. What if this is a cycle that keeps happening with magic dying and then rebirthing, and then people constantly, like, so like the mechs are from the previous generation or this previous cycle of people who went through the thing of their magic dying, the bonds become, the dissonance growing, and it becoming impossible to get through the clutter. Eventually everybody's a mech, and then everybody dies, and then now there's mechs around. Now there's new people. I don't know what happens, but maybe the
I really
remnants
like.
at a new generation. Yeah, go
I
on.
really love that theory. I almost explicitly want that to be an in-universe conspiracy.
That's what I was
theory.
gonna say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because
Love a
I love that
conspiracy.
idea a lot, and I think that's one of those like world building things where it's like, don't make it a fact, make it like a rumor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wait, to be clear,
Love
are we saying
conspiracy.
mechs maybe used to be people that slowly
It's
replaced their body
crazy.
with like mechanical? That's
Well,
nuts.
maybe like maybe not necessarily used to be people, but people became so weak they had to use mechs or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Or it's
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Because
I
then
like
it's not
that
really a
also.
mech; you're just a robot, like android. or
Right,
cyborg,
yeah,
Whatever.
Sure.
Uh, All right, cool. I love this. Let's do one more round of questions on this table, and then we'll move on.
All right, John, tell me when.
right. Stop.
All right, I'm gonna go for this one.
Stop.
Stap. It is
Yeah.
the king of spades.
That's right. I
Ooh.
only the face cards.
You like
Yeah.
royalty. I understand.
What
So the
toll
question-
did magic take to cast? What has recovered since it was changed?
Good remembering to change the wording.
Yeah,
I know. I'm a professional. Let's see. So the toll magic took to cast, I mean, obviously because it is sort of bonded magic, I assume you would have this is weird. Okay, so you have someone who is the facilitator and someone who is the caster in the bond. And so the one who is casting gets sort of worn out more because they're the one who's actually doing the magic out through them.
Mm-hmm.
So it wears them down.
Mm-hmm.
So, at best you'd have people that would be able to like go back and forth and be like, okay, well, I'll cast now. You can go ahead and provide the energy and then we'll swap back and forth. And I think that plays into the whole like, there used to be this hegemony of like you have to get married to whoever, and you'd go to people like, so who's the caster in the relationship?
Oh my god.
Amazing. Wow.
Oh my god, I love that.
That also like maybe like how in relationships, in like not great relationships, you've got one person who like gives a lot, and then the other person it's like is not as involved emotionally and stuff. So maybe that's the kind of thing where one person is always the one casting. What's the one that is harder to do?
Casting.
Or facilitating?
Casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like is always the one casting, and then the other one just mooches off of the magic. And I just keep thinking about something Chorus of Echoes said a while back in chat, which is not something like I just like something I liked. And they said the magic itself is so desperate to make a bond that it will make any type of bond it can. As in, like the people are so desperate for magic, they'll just make any type of bond they can. And I don't know, I just kind of.
See, I think in when you have that sort of like perfect bond, which again doesn't need to be romantic, it's just who are you able to
Yeah.
work with well enough and have that back and forth, that flow of power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that, you don't have the sort of like, oh, I'm just hanging out and you cast spells, because then it wouldn't work. You'd have to be invested in order to get the most out of it. But I think now people are like, oh, well, everyone wants to be the person who's like, well, I want to benefit from this. And, some people that want to be casters, some people that want to be facilitators. And I think what's recovered with the magic changing as it has is you have less of that sort of binary dynamic with things. Like I say, people going like, oh, well, who's the caster in your relationship? People don't really think of it as being like, oh, someone does a magic, someone facilitates a magic. They're just like, oh, magic just happens.
Yeah.
Like that's not a thing that you have to do a formal thing to. We have kitchen table magic.
I love that. Yeah. Especially, I like there's something fun about like even the fact that magic is suddenly disappearing or is like disappearing. Yeah. Then like we can't like people can't be picky about it anymore. Also, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, come on, we're both casters because our facilitators, we don't have the bond anymore. That doesn't work that way.
I'm a
anymore.
service caster looking for a power facilitator.
Oh, it was a switch.
As soon as it came out of my mouth, I knew that was gonna be a joke.
Beautiful.
I knew it.
I'll cast if I have to, but I really prefer facilitating.
Look, I'm a switch, but if I have to.
If I have to. I think that's cool. I like that as like what has recovered. I think that's really interesting from that. Ben, you want to draw?
Yeah. Are we still on the same table?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
do
still on
one
the same,
more
but you got you and me.
Just doing
and
a
then-
second round.
Yeah.
Boom. I got the King of Clubs.
Aw.
Mhm.
Oh wait,
okay,
we
so
already
that's a
did that
question.
one. We already did that one. Let's try again. I got the Two of Diamonds,
The Two of
which is
Diamonds.
the land. What is the common transportation method that caravans utilize? I feel like there's an obvious answer here, but maybe that's not.
Well, maybe it's
Hey.
different for caravans.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
caravans? Yeah.
I think
If
the
it's
mechs have to
obvious,
go
then-
come into it, but I think there should be more to it than that.
Mhm.
And we
Um,
also haven't given like shape. We haven't actually given like an image to what these mechs look like and how they function and stuff. If you do, if the obvious, you want to actually kind of get nitty gritty with it. But I love also going with the less obvious option.
Mhm.
But okay, I think yeah. I don't know. I actually like the idea of it being humanoid mechs. I'm okay with that.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
like, there's more to it than that, right? Like mechs, like how do they make a caravan out of that? Do they like carry people's houses like on
Mm.
like
Oh,
up,
I love that.
like they're friggin'
a
linked
snail?
on Legend of Zelda, like carrying
Yeah.
people's houses over their heads as they like walk. They have to walk through flooded parts of their world, like with their houses like up like this.
Mhm.
Howl's Mecha Castle.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, amazing.
They do take the things they can't bear to part with them, and maybe that's becoming more and more clutter. That's becoming more and more stuff that they have to take with them. As there's more stuff people don't want to part with.
I do really like that. I have actually. An image came into my brain of still like kind of big boats,
Yeah.
but mechs are rowing,
Mhm.
or mechs
so since
are
it-
like a
since
part of
we've,
it
like,
also.
Since we've like kludged together the mechs, they would take all kinds of different forms, right? And so there's got to
Yeah.
be one that's like a centaur boat, like that's like the
Yes.
torso up, that's like rowing or something, like
Yeah.
on the back, and it's like
A
the
boat
rest
that
of it is
has
like
its
a
own
boat with stuff on it.
boatman.
Yeah, some things would be unrecognizable as a humanoid mech. Like maybe somebody made a car out of one, kind of. Maybe one is just like a
Like proper like
Yeah,
Optimus Prime Transformers.
just legs.
Yeah.
it's like they. I'm loving this image now that like the ain't like the mechs that we can't salvage or that are too big
Mhm.
are like Gundams. They're all like the
Yeah.
Mhm.
classic big humanoid ones, and then like everyday mechs are like, well, it's kind of like we took the legs of a mech, but we only have like a car hood, so
We
it's
just
running
turned it
around
into a
like
beast
that.
Yeah.
burden. It
Well,
pulls
there's
sleds
also-
for us.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's also like, not everybody can find a full mech that they can then repurpose, around. Some people can just only find like the leg, just like pieces here and
Yeah.
there.
and like so we're carrying all of these different things. Like we're transporting houses, we're transporting cargo.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Like, is there
Yeah.
a common kind of chimera, Ben?
Somebody's got to have like a Baba Yaga house, right?
Oh yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
They just have a walking house.
Yeah.
A chimera. I don't.
I
What do you
just-
mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, I like the idea that it is
Or
just
like-
legs. Yeah.
like the mech, the common transportation method that caravans utilize. So it's like when we build mechs for transporting cargo or transporting people, what is that like? What's the ideal common version of that? Or is it we use whatever we can that can traverse moving forward?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of variety.
Okay.
Real
I think,
hodgepodge.
but I like it. I think I agree that like I was saying legs, but I think like the humanoid ones, it makes sense that something that may have been that's a very like fine machine, and that one would not be very salvageable. But
Mm.
yeah, but like gears, just the hardier parts, like that's put together to make these boats, or maybe these like long haul pallet trucks or something that like houses and stuff are just put on top of. I like that.
I like if whatever thing you could find that worked on that mech, you make that work for you. So if it's like, oh, it's the arms work. You're like, great, we put it on the side of the thing, and just the arms do this and move it along. Or if it's the legs, they go in the back, and it's like in the water, and it just kicks the boat.
Kicks. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love that. Cool. Fiona, you want to draw your second card?
Absolutely. All right. Go for the one in the middle, which is it's another spades, the 8 of spades.
Even spades. Oh, perfect. We fit all of the land.
Oh, phew. So even spades is what is an important landmark? Are there any unknown places?
Natural landmark.
Yeah, so
natural landmark. Not mech. Yes. Yeah, can you imagine if I just went just a big mech instead of Statue of Liberty? No.
Oh,
I think there are loads of unknown places. I think it's that sort of idea that where we are. In my head, like there's like an ice shelf. If we're talking about that producer, so that people underneath so it just goes for miles and miles and miles. But then we get to an ocean. We don't know necessarily what's beyond the ocean because we don't know that there's other land masses across from us. So I think there's loads of like the map we know is very much that frigid ice shelves, which then keeps changing. Again, maybe an allegory to climate change. They get smaller, perhaps, and maybe we're going to have to deal with some settlement stuff there. But a natural landmark. Let's just keep it simple. Like the Aurora Borealis we have at the top.
Aurora Borealis.
Whoa. Yeah, that right.
Because then I feel like it's prismatic. We've got, I think maybe it appears at obviously certain times of the year, and maybe there is stuff that is people associated with it. You know, if you look up, your soulmate is probably also looking up at it, all that sort of thing. And there's festivals around it, all that sort of thing. I think maybe a couple of times a year.
I was about to do it.
Very Fievel, yeah, very Fievel.
So Fievel. I also immediately thought of Beyond the Sea, the song for like, what if my soulmate is beyond the sea and I can't find them because I would need to traverse the water?
Oh, that's so good. I love that. I love Aurora Borealis as a natural landmark. And there are whole places that we don't know.
Just like the fantasy land of Alaska.
Just like
so fantastic.
I'm gonna draw, and I have the Ace of Diamonds. So cultures. Is there a common language? What is a common way to communicate long distances? I'm gonna go abstract with common language. There are different languages for different cultures, but I think maybe like pulling from like the drift compatibility thing. You can get like vibes. It's so rom-com-y. We're just constantly pulling into rom-com where it's like oh, you know, we don't speak the same language, but we spoke the same. Our souls spoke the language. We spoke the language of love. Yeah.
We don't speak the same language, but we do sing it.
No, I love it.
Yeah. I think that's so. I like the idea that unique to our world, or like a part of our world, is the magic lets us at least share a lot of like base emotional stuff. I'm also thinking like in our real world, like languages that have common ancestries that like sound similar enough that you're like, I kind of get what you're saying. It's almost like that. And then I also love now thinking that if magic is suddenly disappearing, there is less, like people aren't able to rely on that. Where like, oh, there's just whole zones of like, I can't connect with these people, and we used to be able to talk to each other like coworkers or whatever. Now we can't do it. What is a common way to communicate long distances? I like if time and distance are a common hazard. I want long distance communication to also be something that needs to be transported, like in a flooded world, or I don't know if we have like text or email, or you can call people.
Pigeon?
If I can pitch something.
Do you have a please pitch something,
for the whole prismatic thing? What if different shades of light and color used can be like, oh, this denotes whatever. So if you're like, oh, they have a spotlight and they're shining red, we know that that means something where they are.
Yeah,
And if you
I like
see a
that.
place that's shining a blue light, you know that means something else.
Oh,
I think
Like a
we
cute.
should.
bat
I think we should, in fact, not have like long distance communication beyond that. Like, because then they would
Yes.
just solve the longing for someone far away problem.
Oh, it is also, it solves the longing if you could just
Yeah.
well, I mean, I guess sending an email is
well,
But you gotta have,
but
you gotta know the address who to send it to.
It's like, hey, my
I
friend
do-
likes you. You shout it like, hey.
I also like the
Yeah.
idea of the like weird dating service being like an analog thing.
Mm, yeah.
Like,
yes,
like you show up and they're like, all right, here's the address of someone I think you should meet.
Yeah.
like hanky code for societies.
Yes.
Which is
That was
very
me.
funny. Oh, that was it. I do. I also like prismatic Morse code. I love light. It's like floodlights. It's little lights. It's like these things you can see in the distance.
So then you'd also be able to go like, oh, they strung up some lights on their mech and they're whatever color, so you know they're doing however.
Yeah, from a distance, you know what's going on.
So
I
if
think
someone
that's
is
really
saying
great.
that you could do like a code, like there's a Morse code, course by codes, like I kind of like that too.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what it was saying.
Yes, I do
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
you can flash it. You can cycle between different colors, and that probably has something in there, but it's still not perfect
No.
Yeah.
language. I think that's important.
100%.
You can't send like messages. You can just go, this is the general idea of what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
Just
And
Yeah.
and
You
with
just
if there's
see-
dating services, there's catfishing too. So gotta watch out. For that.
oh my god.
Oh!
There's
Yeah, we're
scammers.
gonna let
There's
that-
scammers. There's bandits. Gotta watch out for that.
They flashed
Love-
Violet 6 times. That means there's hot singles in my area.
That's the universal code for hot
Oh.
singles in my
How'd they
area.
know?
How'd
Yeah.
they know?
Oh my
all right,
God.
Shaghik, take us through the last question of this table.
Ooh, what an honor.
Yeah.
3 of Hearts, which is Odd Heart. What relics right? Odd Heart.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. What relics remain of an ancient ancestry between many cultures? Ooh, okay, the mix. But also, what relics remain of an ancient ancestry between many cultures? God, I'm struggling to think beyond the mix, but I'm trying to think of other things and not just go back to the mix.
I can. I mean, if you want like a
Please
kind of
do,
a-
please go, yeah.
Well, it's more of a follow-up question. If you want to stick
Oh,
with
yes.
mechs, how do we know that they are like? How is it known to us that they're from like kind of an ancient ancestry rather than like what signifies that? Like we can maybe find mechs from variety of like in a variety of places, but they
Maybe,
all
like-
look the same or they act the same.
Maybe like inside the mechs. I'm not a mech expert, so please
mech
correct
Don't
me.
worry.
Expert.
Mechs-
Okay, well, we all jumped on that one, huh?
Do mechs have like buttons that if you like sit inside them, do they have like buttons and shit? Or-
Yeah, usually, yeah.
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 So
got switches,
maybe
you got
those
buttons.
Have,
Levers.
maybe those have. I mean, going back to like language, like we have books of like old languages, old dead languages, and then we look at the mechs and we see the same script on the buttons, and so it makes us think, oh, this is mechs from an ancient, peoples before us,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and maybe there's maybe like people a type of linguist who tries to figure out, okay, what did this button do? What does this mean? Yeah, trying to revive the dead languages to just to learn the language, to figure it out. And maybe a lot of the mechs do work, but there's like you need to activate them with like the saying the specific things or something. So
Oh, I do like
people
that.
don't-
Yeah.
People don't know which ones are even still functional or not, because they don't know they're supposed to say, which buttons they're supposed to press in what order.
Okay, Google.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I love like the idea of like lost languages and
Yeah.
and these like, but we all kind of seeing them. They all require the same thing, but I don't know what it is. Somebody else might have already discovered it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's really fun. I love that little additional element to mechs. Okay, so we're done with this table. I like to spend a lot of our time on this table because it really defines a bunch.
Mhm.
And then next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna build a city. And for time's sake, we'll kind of work through that a little quicker, and then bring us home with a small little epilogue-y, prologue-y thing.
Nice.
But first, we can take a small break before we jump into our city.
That sounds good. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching so far. Very much appreciate it. Come back in about 5 minutes and we'll continue on this amazing world building live stream of A Land Wants Magic. We'll see you back in 5.
Yeah.
And take it away. We're back.
Hey everybody! Welcome back to A Land Wants Magic.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
How are you?
Good to be
Specifically,
back.
you welcome back.
I feel
Yeah,
very
it's
welcome. That's what I'm
I
saying.
feel very back. We're so back.
We're so
I have
bad.
been I have been shuffling this deck for 2 hours nonstop. I need to.
Oh yeah, you haven't been seeing, but on the side, I'm doing this all the time.
Yeah.
I love to fidget with the deck of cards.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right back in with we're gonna be making a city in our world. This is a singular city of one that there could be many. We're just kind of, once we've done broad strokes, we're zooming in a little bit more. We're gonna kind of get onto more of a smaller scope, thinking about a city and what it could be, and the people that live there and the lives that are there, and
Love a city.
so on and so forth. I love a city too. I'm
Love
a
a
big
city.
fan
Love
of
a
making cities.
Love the city.
We
Wow.
built this city.
We
built
this
this
on
city.
frigid ground.
city
On
is ours.
frigid ground,
Yeah,
yeah.
frigid
On
ground.
bouncy ground.
Bouncy. Eventually, that'll come up. I swear.
I swear. And I think it'll come up here, honestly. I feel like a lot more of these specific aesthetic touchstones will show up. Okay, so I think
It's
we
John,
start with
right?
John again. So in the city, it's another 1, 2, 3 table. We'll go its influence is, which determines kind of the city's, like, what does it do in the context of the world, like what's its thing. Its regional variant of magic, because magic in our world is can have differences based on where we are, or at least different relationships to its people. And then a local legend is told of. And the local legend is different than the legend that we made before. This is something that's of the city itself.
All right. As always,
So-
John, tell me when.
All right. And stop.
All right. It is unfortunately not a face card this time. I apologize, but it is a 5 of diamonds.
How dare you?
I'm
You've
sorry.
lost it,
I know.
John. You've lost your touch.
I know. Sorry.
Lucy with the fun.
All right. So its influence is innovation, a nexus of learning and invention.
What do you think? And also, as a secondary thing, discuss the city's proximity to another landmark. So, like, potentially it's this because it's near something, or how do we know about it?
So I think that this is one of the few, because we've established mostly people are sort of nomadic and moving around a lot. This is one of the few areas that is stationary,
Yeah.
and it has a placement like along inside of like a mountainside, so it's able to be a little more protected. It doesn't have to worry so much about the outside, and the influence for the whole innovation and learning and whatnot is, I think this is a place where people send teachers, because I think this is a place where people don't generally like stop and live there like forever. It's still moving around and nomadic, but when you stop there, whoever is currently teaching, you can learn something. And so every time you go, there's a different thing that's happening. There are symposiums. Someone's doing a TED talk. Like, you go into this city and it is a place where no matter where you go, there are gathering sites and there are experts explaining things. And even if you don't speak the same exact language, there are ways of like showing the thing that they're using and really trying to give knowledge. And it's one of the few like no gang violence allowed in here.
It's like a
this is a place of
gigantic
peace.
convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go
Permanent,
into a hall,
gigantic
someone's doing a talk
convention.
over here. You go into a different hall, someone else is doing a talk.
Literally.
There's a giant line for Hall H because someone's doing a talk about a movie.
Meet some
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really fun. I love that.
That's cute.
Oh, I think that's so cool. All right, Ben, then what's its regional variant of magic? And see, academic would fit really well, but I'm curious about these if we draw another one and see how that fits into this.
Oh, I drew a Joker.
Oh, okay.
It's happening. It's happening.
Joker
Joker
mechanic. All
What's
right.
happening? What's happening?
So
Nobody panic. Nobody
we're-
panic.
I'm trying this thing out where now the one who drew the Joker, we're gonna take a brief aside and reevaluate our palettes and touchstones. And then if you feel like you're not gonna get rid of anything, but feel free to add a palette or a touchstone that
Ooh.
feels like, as we've played the game, either something that we've been bringing up a lot that you want to codify, or that you think would be fun to bring in now that we've been in this world for a little bit.
Oh, fun. I like that.
No pressure, Ben.
Okay, so I think one touchstone that we could add is there's this play, and they also made a movie with I think Paul Rudd in it called The Shape of Things.
Ooh.
God, there's no way for me to talk about this without spoiling it. But
Oh,
Ben,
Ben.
you have got to.
It's
I
Benjamin
don't know.
Gray
Let's see if
again.
I can talk around it. See if I can talk around it a little bit. But basically, it's about like
I don't care.
a fake relationship, like being beneficial for someone, actually improving the person, even though it ended up being not a real thing. So sorry to get super film nerdy on you. Didn't mean to do that.
Uh-huh.
No, that's fine.
And I feel like one palette word we could do maybe has something. Now that we've established more about our people, which we didn't kind of do at the beginning, we didn't have a good idea of the beginning of the game. Something about like. What's something about the people that the people are like desperate? Maybe a desperate. Can that? Nah, that's not really quite a palette word.
You want it to be punch. You want it to be punchier.
Punchier than that, and that's a little too. That's not really descriptive.
I guess, do you mean like reaching or something like that? Longing?
Yeah, but
Longing.
Starved of emotion? It's not as punchy.
starving is
Thirsty.
actually not a bad one.
Starve?
Starving is pretty good.
Starving, and there could be a few ways that we can interpret that.
John-
I know, John, you just said touch starved, but that feels real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. I think that's really cool. So we've added, where did it go? The shape of things, and I wrote down benefiting from a fake relationship. I like that phrase that you said about it, and then starving as a palette word. That's really cool.
I wonder
I'm-
if fake relation. Oh, go on.
Well, I was gonna say, this is the first time a Joker's come up. Is that Ben? Is that your turn, or do you then also get to draw again for the?
There's only 3 here, so I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna say that
Cool.
that was my turn. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And there's only 2 jokers, so the fact we found a joker,
Love it.
yeah.
yeah.
love
Well, there aren't only 2
Change your
jokers.
world.
We've got
That's
We've got
true.
more.
We do
multiple
have 4 decks of cards.
Okay, sure. The chance of us getting more jokers now is a little bit higher than normal, but
Yeah.
we're not going
Yeah.
master with it. Yeah.
I with the fake relationship thing. I feel like this isn't really connected to anything we're talking about right now with the prompts, but I kind of like the idea.
Then
of-
I might.
Then oh, I
push us
got it.
forward
I'll
then.
put
Yeah,
pause
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
All good. Don't worry.
Gotcha. All right. Who's next?
Amazing.
Cat.
Who's
All right.
next?
It's me, I think,
Oh, it's
right?
Fiona, yeah.
All right, so it's the
Mhm.
local legend one. All right, I'll do a shuffle, and I'm gonna pick the one in the middle. It is, it's the 5 of Hearts. So Hearts, the local legend is told of a child. Title.
Oh wait, sorry, we didn't actually do regional variant.
Oh, we
because that
didn't.
was one
So
that
sorry.
Douglas-
Well, I'll
Yeah.
still use this card then. No worries. Thank you for that.
Academic.
Frank.
Yeah, we've got we've got academic.
Got 'em.
That's the one
yes.
you wanted.
So yeah, the regional variant of magic is academic, as seen as the true forms of others. So we already talked about like this idea of convention, or like people going to see people, academic styles. I think then, what does that mean in terms of emotion? Like, yeah, there's definitely like classes and research and I was going to say PDFs, no, PhDs on the different kinds of bonds.
They know how to use
PDAs.
PDFs.
No, yeah,
PDAs.
PDFs, PhDs on PDAs. Yeah, absolutely. I think it even goes down if it's a regional level, then there's probably even community classes that you can take. At the various levels of like, again, not to go too seedy or creepy, but that pickup artistry type vibe of like, how do you know when someone is into you, and like going through even like
Right.
maybe even to the style of like improv classes where you role play out. I'm going back to it, the stoplight traffic parties where you how do you approach a potential partner, or like if you feel there's a spark, like in the lingo, all that sort of thing. So you know what,
I do like that.
yeah, I think
So
even,
it's like
go on. No, you finish. I'm rambling now.
Well, it's people, like the magic manifests in kind of trying out different bonds. Like, so it's like the magic itself kind of, or this variant is we're not like faking the bonds, but like we are, right? Like kind of in that improv, like we're experimenting with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and what better time than college to experiment?
Exactly.
What better time?
Yeah,
Goddamn.
community college. Yeah, come to my improv show.
Oh god.
I kind of have a question for you, because we
You
haven't
do crowd
really,
work and you create magic with the good crowd. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, because I actually don't know if we've necessarily said this exactly, but like we know how magic like is, but like have we said like what it does?
No, I've had some,
like
yeah, go on. Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, is it kind of generic-y things that we get to do? I want Fiona, like, in kind of answering this question in the idea of what's the base and then what's the regional variant. Like, is it also like does it manifest in a unique way here?
Yeah, I feel like magic white like. I think in my head, I'm probably going down that rom-com friendship is magic kind of route of like, it doesn't necessarily mean like you reshape reality or anything like that when you're at your strongest, but I think you make better decisions, you feel more informed, and maybe you're just more confident because you have this connection and someone sees you for who you really are and you're not faking or pretending. So I wonder then in that case that you just, as a result, you are a better person because you're aware of all the foibles and stuff. And that's the true magic, is necessarily like realizing and seeing other people's points of view and stuff like that. Maybe that's a bit too meta, perhaps, rather than like fireworks.
Well, I mean, we did say that like with it we could destroy and conquer like feelings of dread and all these things. So it's like
Yeah, well, maybe then going back to it, that idea we talked about when I did the last one was like this idea of like that oh god, there is something out there to get me. Though that the theme music, there's something has us because our dread and despair is made manifest. It does become something, and it's what our worst things are, and so that we can get rid of those imposters by doing that sort of magic. I'm thinking very anime, those sort of weird shadows that you get like from the shadow realm that take your fears and become those creatures. And so maybe that's the more literal sort of sense of it. I guess the regional variant is that idea of like, I mean, it's just going through puberty, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. It's the idea of again trying out like almost like different outfits, different styles of you, and as a result of getting through these things and being awkward about it and learning to fail with it. I think that's what it is. It is that sort of like. I wonder, I guess, if there has to be something that's maybe a physical feature or something like that, is that you light up. You literally light up like some sort of aura around you when you have that sort of magic.
Prismatic.
Yeah,
Prismatic.
Yeah, prismatic. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Okay, I love all that. Yeah, sorry to drop a bunch of that on you.
No,
but,
it's
felt
good.
like
It's
a
good.
time to do it.
Yeah, well, no, because I definitely was thinking to myself, I don't know what it would be in terms of, is it like pew pew fireball, or is it just like power? And I like the power within, because we've been talking about hearts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
you
that the
unlock
people
Kingdom
are
Hearts.
starving.
Yeah, starving. Yeah.
The people are starving. You unlock Kingdom Hearts. We said a lot of things. I love that. And then maybe if you find your soulmate, then you can shoot fireball.
Only then. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got a level 5 relationship with my husband, and we shoot fireballs.
Brag.
Humble brag, but I shot a fireball this weekend.
Johnsons again, honestly.
Okay, joking made me.
The wife
I wonder
and I are
this:
going off this weekend. We're thinking of shooting a fireball.
is this common or is this rare that people actually get the glow and actually manage to find their other caster half?
I wonder.
I mean,
I mean,
anymore.
Not anymore. I think people fake it.
Yeah.
I think loads of people fake it.
Yeah. So it used to be.
Yes.
And now it's getting harder and harder.
Right, that makes sense because we're post magic.
I think we still have, in the same way that we have the phrase of like, "Oh, you're glowing," as a thing of like, you look beautiful. It'd be like, "Oh, you're glowing. You look confident. You look powerful.
Yes.
You look magical."
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got the little device that you put on yourself to make yourself glow, or to at least like.
Right, it's like
I put reflective paint on.
Light.
Yeah.
It's just a mirror. It's just a mirror.
Yeah, it's like we're like, I love the
room.
It's colored glass.
Is that a mirror in your pants, or are we bond mates?
Fireball.
God, pickup artists in this world. Okay, I'm gonna draw my card. So a local legend is told.
Can I say something? I just had a thought. And I feel like I need to say it out loud.
What's up?
Like, imagine like love at first sight, where you just look at each other from like across the room, strangers, and then you cast fireball immediately.
Yeah, there were sparks.
Yeah, there were sparks. Oh my god, all of these terms, they make perfect sense now. I do. I'm really loving this. Like all of these like metaphorical phrases that we do use are somewhat literal because of actual magic. Yeah,
like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
like Kingdom Hearts.
Exactly like.
Let me draw a Joker real quick and just add Kingdom Hearts. To
Kingdom Hearts. That's how it works.
Kingdom Hearts is part of all fiction, though, so that's kind of
true.
All fiction is derived from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
We did talk about DuckTales. All right, so a local legend is told of a crew titled for their reputation or symbols. At this like academic convention experimentation collegiate city. Oh, I have a horrible thought.
Amazing. I love it already.
What if it's kind of like a frat or like a club?
Of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have to be nerds. Like,
but they have to be nerds. Yeah.
But yeah,
Nerd
sure.
house.
Nerd house. Oh no, I have almost worse. It's an improv.
Hey.
I mean, that's
Fair.
nerds. That's nerds. Them's nerds.
Comedy
nerds.
sports is taken over.
But I love, Fiona, your thing of like they're trying it out, and like
No.
this is like a local
Let's-
A
let's
festival.
legendary improv.
Look,
group.
Yeah.
I can say
Okay.
this. I can say this as an improviser. Okay, there are like several stages of comedy, and people always go think improv is the worst one. And let me tell you, no, it's mime. Mime is the worst one. Improv is worse of it, so that's okay. We can shit on
We can-
improv.
I
We
mean-
can, you know.
Listen, yeah,
Mine
I love
creates
a,
no magic.
I love a good improv. But I think that's maybe what it is. It's like a legend of people who are like they can take on any. They were able to like. They did weird stuff, you know. They're
Yes.
like we figured it out. We're creating bonds that you've never fucking heard of, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what?
Cast the
You know
energy
what?
ball
There
around,
is
let
a
me
special
tell you.
bond in an improv. Group,
Well,
absolutely.
if you get the audience on side in an improv set, you feel bloody amazing.
Yeah.
It's when they turn on you and you're like, no, it's gone. So yeah, no,
and
I,
just the dissonance,
Yeah.
and then the
exactly.
dread starts.
Um,
Oh, when you're bombing so hard in
And
your
then the
improv show, and then there's dread,
Improv
and then you
dread.
feel the dread.
oh
Yep,
my
yep,
god.
yep.
I
Oh,
love the
doing
idea
an
of
improv- I
bombing
mean,
at
do-
an improv
do it-
show and you hear the music of like,
Da-da.
and you're like, no,
Okay.
no.
You're being played off.
The ultimate goal is for this society to like create the Herald, which will bond all of them together.
Oh my god. I think that, oh god, that's so funny. Is there a title for, what's like a title for these
Well,
for
the
this crew? What do they call themselves? Their reputation or symbols is the suggestions I give. Like are they like, I don't know, maybe there's something like
Can they be the Herald? Like, but it's like
the
it's like,
Heralds?
but it's like it's not like it's like HERALD.
yeah. The hair I
The
like
Heralders,
that.
the
Like,
I think
Heralders.
the Herald works, and if you want their
Yeah.
symbols, it's definitely plaid shirts and Converse. Every single skinny jeans.
Gosh, I
Oh,
love
God.
that.
It's that specific type of skinny jeans that's like the fugly jeans that Chaperone sings
Mhm.
about, with like the lines and the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we call them the Pink Pony Club? Like,
Oh my gosh.
The Kansas Cauldrons and the Pink Pony Club.
Hey.
I love it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to pick. Oh, also, and we can name our city. Does anyone have an idea of what the name of the city should be?
Oh god.
I'm just gonna
So
look
we
over.
PAX East.
PAX
Pax-
East.
PAX East is like not bad though. Like,
Peck East.
yeah,
Yeah,
you say it like
Pakistan?
you say it like PAX East. Yeah,
PAX East. Yeah.
Peck East.
I like that
What
we
is it
started
back?
taking this so seriously, and then
We've
just on this one, for some reason, we were like, let's have a little goof about.
Look,
Well, I
the
mean,
second someone mentions improv, everyone's like, yes, and.
Yes,
Yes,
and
and.
exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
I do think it's like we're really cooking on the lore of it all, but then it's like, what's it called? And then it's
Well, the
Look,
names, yeah, names
completely
have to be funny.
It's
gonna
like
called
the horse
Bumblebee
drawing
Booble.
d-
A googly boop.
How about just
uh,
Dron? Again, I'm just looking at a scarf that says Dron on it. DRON.
Like Modron?
It's
Yeah,
an
like mo-
abbreviation, but nobody knows what it stands for.
I think it's the
Uh,
abbreviation of Coldron, but just Dron at the end. So
oh my god, it's like Novak from Fallout New Vegas.
exactly. exactly.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I'm feeling. We've tossed out a few things actually.
It's
Well,
very-
John, I mean, you established the beginning of this city. Do you have an idea for what you would want to call it,
I mean,
or any of these suggestions feeling good?
we can go with something that is more descriptive. If we don't want to have like an actual like
Mhm.
just city name, we can have like, you know, the Academy or whatever, something like that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah, perfect.
the Academy. Do we have a more? Do we have like a? What's one level further with Academy?
The university.
Someone
know?
said lexicon.
The university.
The grad school.
The University. Call it University.
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 Nice. There you go.
Master class.
The University.
Oh, University.
I don't
Yeah.
care what you guys call it. In my head, it's University.
That's called
Okay,
the
cool.
Harold.
Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna
I'm just kidding.
we're going
Metrocity.
to now atrocity.
Metrocity.
Oh my god, necklace in Manhattan. Just thinking about that.
It's
just
called
called Manhattan.
Manhattan.
It's called Manhattan,
called
baby.
Manhattan.
We got Kansas. we
I'm sorry.
got-
It's called Manhattan now.
Oh my god.
Change it round.
That's right.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. There's
Made
actually
to
a
think.
really good in chat.
Manhattan.
Somebody said lexicon as a
Lexicon,
name
yeah.
I like
Lexicon.
for a
Lexicon.
city.
Yeah. That's
How dare you give a good name?
Lexington.
Yeah.
Lexington.
What are you doing?
Of course, it makes
Lexicon.
sense. Lexicon. It's got con in it, but it's
Yeah.
natural. That I.
Put that in.
Macross City is pretty.
Colloq- it's called Lexicon, but colloquially it's known as, I don't know, Manhattan.
Yeah. Or University.
University.
Okay, cool. Well, as a group, we're gonna decide whether or
goes
not
by
we feel
many
like this
different
city.
names.
We're gonna choose if the city is crumbling or flourishing. And a city that's crumbling is a city with a troubled past, but possibly a brighter future. Or a city flourishing is a city with a bright future, but for how long? So they're kind of two sides of the same coin in terms of
Yeah.
looking forward.
My
I feel
What
So
do
we
we
choose.
flourish.
We
yeah.
choose. I'm thinking flourishing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking flourishing. Yeah, I love that.
I think it's an easy thing to be like, oh yeah, it's all gonna be doom and gloom because we've talked all about this emotion stuff. I want
Uh-huh.
to see like the positive end about how amazing it is. Very Wizard of Oz, right? It's like
A
oh,
good
it's,
turn.
Yeah, it's,
in-
it's
in-
so
in
great,
their
and it's
Yeah.
only a matter of time before you know, as a
Well,
pride
that's a
becomes before.
horse of a different color.
Yeah, it's like a pride comes before a fall, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'll be up for flourishing.
Lexicon's thriving. Nothing's gonna bring us down.
Yeah. Attendance is up, you know. We have great guests coming from all over.
The speakers are great this year.
Okay. I think Shaghik, you're the first one who starts us with a question. So you're gonna draw a card and it's gonna be similar. We're each gonna do just one question.
Mhm.
And then we'll take us to a close.
The Jack of Clubs.
Ooh, face card.
All right. So this is the Legends influence. We're talking about our local legend here. So the Heralds.
What do the heralds do again? Can somebody remember?
Improv
They're
Improv.
they're an improv group,
Sure,
but
gotcha,
their whole thing is
I
that they
remember
were
now.
yeah, they're like
But they
masters of being able to,
invented. They invented improv. How about that?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're
Yeah.
they're able to do a bunch of different types of bond magic by just
Hmm.
pretending to do it. I'm thinking
Where-
that the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where's the legend now? Why are the people distraught by this? Ooh. Okay.
No,
oh wait, you
wrong
want to
one.
be wrong one. Sorry, the second table.
You're in crumbling.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
we're in
Cricket,
flourishing. Page 15.
15.
Gotcha.
15.
Gotcha. I was wondering why
It
people
took me
are
a second
distraught.
too.
Where is the legend now? Why are some people happy about this? Well, if they Great.
Like I said, two sides of the same coin. All right.
They left, and people are very happy about it.
Yeah, I was wondering why people are distraught, but yeah. Okay.
Because they love improv.
No, they've discovered something called
so good.
stand-up
Well, they could
comedy.
be. They could be
Oh,
here
yeah.
too. It just
Okay,
says where are they now?
yeah,
Like,
but where are they
Yeah,
now?
if this troupe invented improv, I think there's like just like a bunch of other groups that popped up.
Mhm.
But am I supposed to, where's the legend now, as in where's this group, where's this crew now?
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, they have to have split up already and made their own troops individually.
We are no
And-
longer the heralds. We're the assaulted nuts.
I think maybe one person kept the name the Heralds, and that's the person that probably caused the group to like it's still technically the Herald, but everybody's from the original team has left, and it's
Oh,
just him
Oh,
now,
no.
and
very
there's a
very
bunch of
sugar
new
babes.
people,
Yeah.
and everybody
The
else
ship
has
of
made their own.
Theseus.
Yes, everybody else has made their own troops, and I think maybe each troop, they used to be able to do like all types of different bond magic with the crowd, like going back to crowd work, but also
Well, why are people happy about this? Why are they now like? Why is this cool?
more
Or at
more
least good
shows
in
to
the
go
eyes.
to, more shows to attend.
I mean, I could suggest that there's
Yes,
now.
please.
No, it's all right. I think when you obviously this is the thing about improv teams that these are so cool. But I think if there's a split, some of them are doing heralds, some of them are doing teaching or whatever. I think there's more opportunities then to be with those people and be in the shows or see the shows or perform with them. So I think people are
Yeah.
happy because they get more access to the individual members. And whether or not I don't know how the individual members feel about it, but the idea of like I'm the same when I see that there's a teacher coming to town or I can take a class with them. I get very excited, even though like they don't know me at all. So I like the idea that you'd be able to share that little wisdom. Maybe it's not maybe it's not like seeing a show with the original Heralds, although that would be very cool. But like one of them is giving a lecture on the importance of yes, and then the follow-up lecture on yes and
Thank you for coming to my lecture on yes. Next week I'll be giving a lecture on and. Please make
Yeah.
sure to
Yeah.
Exactly.
please make sure to attend both, otherwise you won't have learned anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I feel like there's a classic joke of like I took a class on punchlines, right? Or it's like
What was the
Now I just need
punchline?
setups.
Yeah, we just need to set up
or
one.
something like that. Yeah, it's like I took a class on setups.
What if they're like this is like their whole life is this like they're like improv is like it's almost like religious for them. They're like yes and my brother and yes and to you my
It's
brother.
very worship. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is, isn't it?
Oh my
Like
god.
it's
Say yes and to everyone you meet.
improv your life. That's the vibe.
Don't forget to be awesome, like Nerfighter stuff. I don't know if that's it. Never mind. I also think like people are happy because like before it was just the Heralds, it was like these 5 people or whatever. Now, wait, there could be more of them. Wait, I could possibly join the Heralds or join one of the Heralds. Like people think that they've got a chance at like being one of them. So that's another
Yeah,
reason.
you just
why.
got to pay several $100s for
Yep.
a few workshops, and then
Yep. Join Team 1000,
I
and
mean,
then you. Yeah, go.
not even just performing with them, but like having one of them coach you. And like again, not saying I've tell this from my experience, but I've sat in classes where people who are who I think are very good, and then they start teaching. You go, oh no, they don't know anything. Okay, and everyone goes, oh, but they're so good because they are like childhood heroes. You look up to them, and you're like, yeah, they're not that great, but hey, I get a chance to spend an afternoon with somebody I really enjoyed their work. But yeah, I think I like that idea that it is a mixture of coaching, teaching, rather than performing. You get a slice of their wisdom because it goes back onto that academic thing.
Yeah. There you
Very good.
John, you want to draw us a card?
all right.
Or what? Fiona, do you want to
All
draw us a
right.
card for John?
I will, John. Stop. Okay.
Ooh, I could do it for
In a
John.
way, Fiona is John's mech.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It is an 8 of clubs, John. What is that for you?
Clubs, even clubs. Let's see. Ambitions of the people. Who is destined for greatness, and how are they being used?
Ooh.
I think there is a student there that has been able to go to basically any lecture, symposium, whatever's going on, and immediately gets it. Just even if they don't speak the language, they're just immediately like, oh, I get it. I understand. And everyone is trying to get them to be like, I need to bond with this person because they understand everything. And it's like having one of those like all of the suitors showing up trying to do that, but like
Like a bachelor.
everyone being like, how can I be the one that's the one for this person?
Mhm.
Because they're definitely going to be able to like repair things. They're going to be able to get like people to go to the right places. They can do navigation. They've got astronomy. Like they have all of these tools, and so they've just become the like most eligible bachelor.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Oh my god.
Incredible. Yes.
Who's gonna get the rose?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
How
I
are they
think people are
being
trying to set up
used?
like actual things where like you need to make a choice of who to bond with.
Yeah.
And they're just like, but I just want to learn things. What are you talking about?
Mm.
Oh,
I'm
I
just dating
love
around right now. I don't want to settle down.
I don't even want to see anyone right now. I've got a lot on
Yeah.
my plate.
Yeah.
I've got a lot on my plate. Kind of. That's also.
Oh, wow.
That's so rom-com. That's so
Yes.
rom-com.
I don't want
I'm trying to have it all.
I'm gonna have it all. I'm a career guy. You know, like I'm a career woman. I can't settle down.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
and
with
then
any of
someone who
these
makes
guys.
It's like
Christmas trees for a
like-
living, and then
Yeah.
It's like a fanfic thing where the one person who doesn't care that they're,
Yeah.
destined
Oh,
for
yeah.
greatness.
Yeah.
Oh my
we're gonna
God,
have
it's
a
gotta
10
be like
things
a-
I hate about you at this city.
It's got to be like it for me. I'm picturing like what's the equivalent of like kind of a hometown farm boy. It's like a like mechanic
Mhm.
who's sitting around being like,
A
I don't know all
mechanic.
this magic stuff. A mechanic.
Boom, boom.
I don't.
Is that
bond
even a
with
pun?
people.
If
I
it's
bond
just
with-
Yeah, I
same
know. I
word,
think that's
the
just what a
word.
mechanic is.
I think it's just one mechanic.
It's how you say it.
Yeah.
Because there's a mechanic, and then
Are you a
there's
mechanic or are you a mechanic?
Mechanic.
a
Very
mechanic?
good. Very good.
Mhm.
That's language. Ben, do you want to start? That's
language, baby.
language.
That's language. Move on.
Woo!
That's language,
That's
baby.
number one.
Put that
That's
on
number
t-shirt.
one.
That's number one.
Uh,
Did I say Ben? Do you want to
Some
start?
homework.
yeah,
Ben, is it me? Okay.
It's you, my
It's
friend.
you.
Yeah.
All right. 8
My
of
jaw hurts.
diamonds.
8 of diamonds.
The trials of the people. What is stopping the people from rallying together? Who
Nope,
sees
wrong set.
Wrong set?
We're into crumbling.
We're in flourishing, Ben.
We're in
That's
Oh, we're in
page 15.
flourishing.
Yes, page 15.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought I was on page 15.
It's all good. It's all good. Oh, it's page 15 in the PDF, but it's
Yeah,
page
yeah,
15
yeah.
in the numbers. Yeah.
Somehow I scrolled back up
Oh.
by accident.
Actually.
Yeah.
Oops.
What?
It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry.
Anyway, sorry. This is actually ambitions of the people. Who do the people look to, and what do they hide?
Ooh, great question.
Well, then we haven't had doubles yet.
Well,
have,
actually,
but
I
we
did. I
moved,
did. I
yeah.
had to dump it.
Earlier. Yeah.
Who do the people look to, and what do they hide? That's a very like two sides of a coin question.
Mm-hmm.
Who do they look to?
The deans.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the counselors. Yeah.
Or like one cool teacher or something.
Yeah, I was thinking
Mr.
teachers.
Goldman.
Yeah.
I was
But
thinking
I do
the
like-
teachers and the professors. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Dead
did
Poet
establish
Society.
an individual. It could be cool to establish like a group with this, but
Mm.
Mhm.
feel free to.
No, I need some help here.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm kind of formulating a what do they hide in my mind, but I'm having trouble with the who do they look
Well,
to.
what are they hiding? I guess we can work backwards.
We
So
could start,
what-
yeah.
One of the things I was thinking of, one of our palette words that we haven't really addressed much is bounciness.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I like the
Bouncy.
idea of a academic city, like where like maybe your fidgety nature, your unfocused nature is something that you want to hide. If someone, maybe there's like a stigma against not being focused on a single like line of study. Like maybe maybe people who do a buffet of topics are sometimes looked down upon. And so people at least try to look like they have a focus. Yes,
Mm.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Teacher,
I see you have your hand raised. You have your hand
Yes.
raised. Yes.
Yes, teacher. Okay, what if the person they look to is like this one person who has been meditating for as long as anybody's known? This is what it's like one TED talk, one whatever, that's just literally them on the stage meditating and strengthening their bond with themselves. And that's the magic they have. They can create because of their extremely strong bond with themselves, and because they have that focus is why I thought of that. Like they have that intense focus of like not snapping out of it whatsoever.
Mm.
An example of
and-
true study.
But
Uh-huh.
I guess then to talk about the hide, why maybe they're lying perhaps is actually they're not. Maybe they did have that I am one with myself, and so the bond is with myself, and I am now at a higher level of being. But now because there's lots of focus on them, people go to them, in that sense, worship them, all that sort of thing. The bond actually doesn't come from inside; it comes from everyone else. It's that idea of celebrity, cult of personality, and so that's what's.
Fiona.
Well, that's what's sustaining them, right? And so they actually, that's what, and again, that bounciness where they're like, yes, and they're not concentrating on themselves anymore. They're concentrating on keeping these alive because it gives them more power as a result. So.
I also do not want this to be the case, but I fully was like, what if it's the prestige situation? And they're like, they have a bond with a twin, and everyone thinks that it's just
like
them
Yes.
doing the magic because they've bonded to themselves, but they have a twin, and so no one knows.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my
prestige.
god.
I mean, I guess. Well, yeah, Ben. What do you like?
Yeah, that's an example.
I like all of this.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna bet on every horse.
Because John,
like
you
the
were like,
twin
I
thing.
don't want it to be the twin thing, but I'm like, Ben, if you want it to be the twin thing.
I don't. Is the twin thing serious?
I mean,
Up to
I'm
you.
fully on board with it being the prestige situation.
No,
Uh,
I really like
maybe just keep that in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, you know, it's take a fact, make it a rumor, right? Like, I think people are like, no. There's a secret twin with this guy.
I like
You can't bond with yourself. That's not possible.
Look,
That's not
keep it.
possible.
Hey, we're not deleting it. Keep it in mind. We
Keep in
might be
mind.
inspired by that later. Might be like, well, not twins,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I like
Okay,
hearing the for the queen gasp whenever everyone goes ooh when you play for the queen. I think that was the A Land Once Magic gasp that we just had.
Yeah. Oh. Who's next? Oh, it's Fiona.
It's me.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's all good. All right. And I will go for this one in the middle. It's a king. It's the king of diamonds.
Nice.
So this is the legend's influence. How do the people tell the legend's story to others?
This is a local legend, right?
The local legend of the
Yeah.
Heralds.
The
Oh,
Heralds.
well, hey, look, listen. It's like, so you had to be there. So they retell the story, but of course it loses the magic because obviously you weren't there. And
I mean, improv, you know.
anything out of context. If you ever retell an improv scene to anyone who's not seen it, it is
Yeah.
the worst fucking thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's out
And
of
they
context.
keep all of these stories in a hat.
Yeah, and it's just keeping yourself this can't be magic. I don't understand it as a result. So I think it literally is just word of mouth. But I think people are trying to gain meaning from it, like because obviously the person telling it is really passionate about it and talking about it was so good because this and then they did the callback and everyone lost their shit and everyone's like yeah and so you kind of maybe humor them a little bit but then you get pulled along and then you experience it for the first time. But again, the caveat is as soon as you sit down in any improv show, the person who's brought you turns around and goes, okay, so it might not be as good as when I saw it, but I just want to level your expectations. It could be rubbish because we know improv could be either really great or incredibly subpar, and you
That's
just have to,
really funny.
yeah. So I think it's people just telling you that they had to be their story through word of mouth about the Heralds. And I'll say this again, it's not pulling from my own experience, but if you read any improv books and they talk about like Herald teams from the last 20 years, I cannot tell you how bloody dull it is to have someone go, they had such a great set, and it's all written down. You're like going like, this was 20 years ago, and it's still not funny. So
Yeah.
So yeah, that's well.
I love that. I think that's very accurate and good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna draw, and this is our last question on the city, and then that will take us to our kind of epilogue. It's the Ace of Diamonds. So the future. Who is arriving or ascending in the city to claim power?
Oh.
Ooh.
Meditating.
I can think of a few like ascending in the city, right? Like if we're talking about like the academic structure of it, I'm kind of curious if there's maybe an interesting thing of somebody is arriving to claim power. We haven't really, our world isn't really full of like community conflict. Oh wait, I have maybe an idea. Actually, I think the industry that to bring back like kind of this industry is what's like a weird academic new technology or strange kind of like maybe it is like master class or some like weird little kind of like, oh, you don't need to like learn from these people or whatever. Like going to
Skillshare.
You go to Skillshare, yeah, and you learn from us these other people and stuff. So I think they're coming to the city to be like to I was just at GDC, which is like a big games conference, and it feels like that where it's like everyone there is like really excited to talk about games, but then there is so many corporations of people being like, yeah, but what if you put like generative AI in your game? And we're like, get out of here. Or GDC, a lot of GDC was also like, hey, do you want us to market your game? Like we'll tell you how to monetize your game, and it's like, guys, stop. Like we're having a fun conversation about games.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole point of the city was that experts just come in and teach whoever shows up to the city. So having people show up and be like, but you could charge them for it.
You could charge them for it. Right, like, oh, this like the fun like freedom of information that comes from this cool place. What if it was weirdly gate kept and stuff? So I think like that's the people who are trying to acclaim power in the city.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, God, the deans of admission.
This is too real.
Oh,
real.
But so real though.
Yeah.
I mean I think that's the
Love
city
it.
conflict, is that probably the deans are letting them in while all the students and faculty are like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just extra admin.
I work at an institute, and this is now feeling very real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I teach games at college.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is our city. That is, I think, what the city of Lexicon.
Yes.
You know, of course, we could spend some more time on this, but I'd love to kind of get us towards our end. So we've had this. We've created our city, interesting place, and now we're going to zoom in one more time into our world, and I'm going to take us all the way down to a journey in the land. A journey in the land is, we will zoom in even further to look at a group of people traveling in your world. You will see who they are, what they're doing, and finally a story that is being told during that time. This table brings you right down as the ground of your world, a moment to see what you've created from the perspective of the people. I didn't write this down, but I like to think that this is a journey either to our city or from our city. So to kind of anchor it in terms of where we are traveling, to give them a destination of some sort.
Nice.
So this is another 1, 2, 3. We'll just kind of, talk about this, and then there's a final little thing that we'll do at the end of it. So Shaghik, do you want to do when traveling with a blank? And then it's during blank, a story is being told about blank.
All right. Let's see what. Oh no! Oh, my cards have gotten all mixed up. Whatever.
I would hope so. You're shuffling.
No, I meant whatever. Diamonds. I've got when traveling with a nomads, migration wayfarers, family. What am I doing?
So, like, who are these people? So, like, we're traveling. Like, who are we following? What group of people are it? So we're traveling with nomads, which we've actually kind of established most of our world are nomadic. So that can be broad, but you can also be like, where are they if you want to determine like what kind of nomads they are.
Yeah.
Well, to go back to the mix, to go leave the city a little bit and remember what we were talking about before. At some point we talked about how like people find parts of mechs, and I think maybe there's like groups of nomads that their goal is to reassemble, like find enough parts of mechs to create full ones. And so that's what their journey is about.
Are they going to the city to try and learn knowledge of how to reassemble the mechs then?
Are we talking about are they going to the does the group, are they traveling to the city? Is that what we're
They could be traveling
we're asking
from
you.
the city or two.
Then absolutely, yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
I would say maybe they. Oh, again, to maybe.
Or like
they're
how to
teaching.
find like compatible parts.
I'd even say that maybe they're actually going to teach there, perhaps, rather like actually say how they find stuff and give that lesson.
Yeah.
That could be something
Maybe
as well.
they've deciphered some of
There's
the ancient
also
language.
I was about to say, yes, also the language thing is a big obstacle to actually being able to work the mix that you could learn in the city.
For sure.
Yeah, I like that. John, do you want to draw about during?
All right.
So what is the event that's happening?
All right.
Oh, which one, John?
That one.
This one? It's the 8 of Diamonds again.
Diamonds.
Yeah,
During an unexpected crisis. I think the crisis is that all of their mechs have broken, which is why they are going to try and learn something. They are having to move under their own power. Obviously, they don't have like, because we established the whole problem with wildlife, they don't really have beasts of burden.
Right.
And so they are doing the most dangerous game, which is traveling in this world without any sort of cover or speed or anything, and having to like set up small camps, which are nowhere near as safe as either having like a mech or moving so fast with a mech that you get to one of those like outposts.
Silos, yeah. Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Mechanical.
I forgot about the silos.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
are they teaching as well? Like they go to learn, but are they giving talks? Well, like as frauds too? Like
Well, I mean, I'm presuming that it's like there's things shut down based on. Well, I mean, we could even say maybe based on the fact that magic is disappearing in something. Like maybe mechs and how they do it are built on
that
some
drift
sort of
compatibility.
magic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Piloting is a drift thing. I love that. And then Ben, do you want to draw a story is being told about?
I would love to draw that card, and that card is a 6 of diamonds. More diamonds.
Diamonds.
Wow.
Oh, brilliant.
Diamonds.
Triple
all
diamonds,
across.
everyone.
Triple diamond. Slope.
Diamonds.
That jackpot.
My sentence.
Omens. To predict, look for a void. Omens.
So what kind of a story are they telling? So what kind of a story of nomadic, like mech harvesters? No, like, yeah.
Mech
Whatever.
annex.
Well,
Mech annex. We have a name for them. Yeah, you're right.
they're called technical
Wah.
mechanicals, or Tex-Mex for short.
Rude mechanicals, yes.
So like way back, Fiona talked about like there was like people could get like lost in somewhere and then like come back changed.
If they didn't get
Oh,
back to these
fuck, you're
places,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like maybe it's not clear if that's true or not. Maybe, we talked also about like in-universe conspiracy theories and
Yeah.
in-universe. So like maybe they're talking about like to look for the people, like they're paranoid about this, to look for the people who have been changed, who didn't make it back in time. And like maybe that's not even really a thing. But
Right.
like
Well, I mean, most legends that get told are like just warning stories. Like fairy tales are like, hey, don't go into the woods. And so this is like,
Right.
hey, don't wander out into the snow alone. And like the
At
story
night,
is,
yeah.
you might come back changed, but also just don't do that. That's not good.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
also like a stranger danger thing that they say like, hey, watch out, some people could be a person that came back changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
I like that. If you don't feel their bond, like if their bond feels different, calm
Mm,
down.
stranger.
Like
Yeah, I
And,
love
and
that.
especially
Trust your gut.
especially during this crisis, I think
Trust
like
your gut.
cautionary tales are going to ramp up like that.
right.
Yeah.
For
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Very cool.
I really love that. So we're going to. So this is the last table of the game, but we're going to kind of end our game of A Land Once Magic with. I kind of. It's like it's not an. It's like a prologue for
Mhm.
something that you could move forward with. Like there's still many untold stories in this world that we've made. I like to do that. Now we're gonna finish off by going around
Mhm.
and. We're gonna each come up with like a pitch for a character that would
Ooh.
be traveling with or is a part of this nomadic group that's hearing this story. So like just like let's think about like the people that would be a part of this situation. I especially say when traveling with, so like if you wanted to bring in something where you're like, well, they're not like a mechanic, but they could have jumped on board with them to go to the academy or are coming back from someplace. So just this is a good time to be like, oh, I really liked this thing about our world. I would want to explore this as a character or something. And there's no order in this as well. So if you have an idea,
Alright.
feel free
I'm
to
instantly going to jump in and steal the twins idea from before, and I will suggest we have a one part of a twin who is looking for the other part who was lost outside, and they've not returned.
Long lost twins.
and their
They've
bond-
gotten the lockets.
Yeah, and they're trying to find that bond and pull on it, and it's leading them towards the Lexicon City. So there you go.
Ooh, that's fun. That's good. I like that.
So the twin is a mechanic.
Doesn't
Like that-
matter. I guess it doesn't. To me, it's like they had a very strong bond, as we sort of said, but then they were left for whatever reason. They were in the outside before, as it was dark, and they didn't get back inside, and they've not returned. But that bond is still there, but it's very changed, and it's leading them to there. So yeah, I wouldn't want to put details on it because that's something that you could put out through play. But
Yeah.
it seems to be leading them towards the city, so that maybe they're a part of this mechanical group heading towards it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think I've got a person. I think a sort of elder / leader of the group, the person who basically taught everybody in the group how to find the mechs and how to assemble them. The person who has to now, like if they're doing, like Fiona said, the talks at Lexicon City, this is the person that has to then stand in front of everybody and say, our mechs are dying. I don't actually know what to teach you because apparently everything I know is wrong or not correct enough or anyway, but also they have this sort of elder of the community, parental sort of bond with everybody in the group. It's that's sort of thing.
I want to have a character that came back wrong.
Yeah.
I want to have someone that bonded with the shadow under the ice.
No, John, why? That's bad. And all the
There.
others are bad.
The reason the mechs aren't working because their bond magic is canceling out what would normally make them run.
Yeah. Oh,
my
I love
God.
that.
And there are
That's really
more of them than you would think, and it's why it's a crisis. More
Mm.
people have come back wrong, and the more there
Oh,
are, the less
wow.
things work.
It's the like dread is something that kind of spreads, right? So like one person
Yeah.
has done it, now you're bonding with that, now you're bonding with them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I love
And
that.
as things begin to fail, people begin to feel more dread and are more easily able to bond
Yep.
with it.
Yeah.
It's like fucking slime. Oh fuck! I can't remember the name of the video game. Slime Rancher, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
the bad slime spreading. Anyway,
It feels like a
sorry, go on.
zombie bite is what I was thinking. Like I did the zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse, that not only the dread, but as soon as it gets in, it infects everyone.
Yeah, it's basically zombie malaise.
Oh.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh.
Mm.
Ben, do you got someone?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I kind of want to take an opposite approach from the like looking for their bondmate thing as a person who's the picture in their heart is very dark and it feels very far away, and they have just given up on that, and so they're going to the big city to partake in all of the like simulated bonding experiences. They're just gonna
that's
drown
cute.
themselves in the
The improv
bottled,
scene.
yeah, well, the improv scene and the bottled bonding feeling and the weird like pseudo dating services. They're just gonna go to the big city and partake in all of
You're
that.
sort of you're giving up on like this one dream you have, and you're going to effectively the equivalent of going to Ibiza and just having a big lads' night out. But with improv.
Lads.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're so right. That's really funny.
But maybe that I think there's a lot of rich ground there for an arc.
Yes. You're like, it's time for me to go on a singles cruise. Let's see what
Oh my
happens.
word.
I think he's starving though. I think he's
Yes.
yeah. He's like not excited about it. It's just the only thing he has left to like he can't
no.
silence the longing, and so
Well, if
he's gonna go to the big city to try to at least artificially do it.
I think we mentioned this, right? But it's like if magic is if these bonds kind of allow us to be better selves of our be our better selves and like impact our confidence and our abilities and all this stuff, then like not having that, completely shutting that down is like, to me it feels like a sickness, like you're
Mhm.
withering.
It's a toxicity.
Right,
Yeah.
It's a toxicity.
100%.
I love that.
Okay.
My character is a small thing that we mentioned a while ago. One of the first things I think we mentioned was I want to be a child. I think that'd be fun as
Mhm.
like
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, before that,
children,
go
like
on.
children bond. Yeah, like you're like elder bond of like community and parental stuff. I think the idea that children bond in very specific ways and very unique ways can be really fun.
Mhm.
And secondly, I would like to be somebody who has a pet who like is keeping it with them.
Yeah.
Maybe it is like a cat or a dog or something weirder.
Mhm,
I have a
mhm.
ferret that I take around with me.
God.
And just to explore that kind of relationship, I think there was something fun about like wildlife is getting weird and like what does it mean to have a pet
Yeah.
and be a child with a pet that's bonded very early, especially with that idea of like if you bond with something
Oh.
over time, your power gets
Yeah.
stronger. So it's like,
Yeah.
what
Mhm.
does that look like?
But then animals, a cat does not live
Animals,
as long.
yeah.
It's a one-way
And so
Maybe
what
the
relationship.
bond makes it
happens?
so they do live longer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, I'm like, I will keep you alive forever.
You get a little
Or if the-
zombie Ermine.
Yeah.
Or if the pet does pass, is there like a burst of magic that happens that is so strong because of how long?
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's
true.
Prismatic. It's a rainbow bridge.
It's
Oh,
a
done. Come back around.
that feels like character arc, right?
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna figure out what happens. I
Wow.
love all our characters, and
Yeah.
I really like this world that we made. I think that
I'm
it's
glad
really
you
cool to
suggested
see.
a child, because my first thought was like, oh, I think a child of the group would be cool, but then I pivoted. But yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
I love that. I love this so much. That is kind of where A Land Once Magic ends. But I really love that it feels like we have so many different directions that we can go with the game. So I love that.
Yeah. Oh no, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for watching as well. This was a really great stream. Like again, I always say this on my podcast is that world building. I think people always forget about it, and it's so nice to be able to create something in which each of us have obviously created something to it, and now we can be like, right, we now have characters. Let's go play this game, and it doesn't matter about the
Let's go
systems
do
and stuff. Yeah. So no, thank you so much, Viditya, for letting us run this game with you, and thank you so much for facilitating. We're gonna go round the opposite way. So we're gonna go Ben, John, and then Shaghik, and then we'll end with yourself, just to do some quick outros and whatnot as we go. So, Benjamin, can you outro yourself? Where can we find you on the internet, my friend?
Hey, yeah, I'm Benjamin Gray. You can call me Ben. I'm part of the podcast Roleplay Retcon, which I do with my friends Cincy and Alex, and a lot of cool guests, where we remake flop movies that let you down, with TTRPGs, the storytelling games. Also, I designed a couple of games. I also like games that use a deck of cards and your friends. You can find all that at heybenjamingray.com.
Nice. John, please.
I'm John. I'm one half of the System Mastery podcast. You can find all of the stuff that we do, movie reviews, TTRPG reviews, Star Wars novel read-alongs, just too much stuff. All that over at systemmasterypodcast.com. So much stuff, too much good stuff. We're the AM/PM of podcasts. And I also wrote an RPG that uses cards and a Jack-in-the-Box.
Whoa. Oh,
Whoa!
Whoa.
It's called Abandoned, and you can
It
find it
uses
on
a
itch.
Jack-in-the-Box?
yeah.
That is one of the mechanics. If you don't have a Jack-in-the-Box, you can use a deck of cards, but it
Okay.
uses a Jack-in-the-Box, sort of like Dread
I love
uses a Jenga
that.
tower.
No, I don't like that at all. Sorry, John.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
It's a
Excellent
horror
word.
RPG, obviously, and so, when it pops up,
No.
Oh my god, I love that so much. I need to get a Jack-in-the-Box.
oh yeah, the more vintage, creepy Jack-in-the-Box you can
Yep.
get, the better it works for the game.
Thank you so much.
Obviously.
Shaghik, please, where can we find you and your work?
Yes. Hi, hello. I've been Shaghik. My pronouns are she, her. And you can find me on Blue Sky at shaghik.bluesky.social or SHAGHIK. But more importantly, you can go check out my new podcast. It's called Roll by Myself. It's a solo actual play. If you liked my world building skills, you can get a whole lot more of that where it came from. There's a new episode coming out in 2 hours, an hour and a half.
Better get on it.
Finish it.
Luckily, I scheduled it before I got my 1 hour of sleep tonight.
Oh no!
Anyway, it's all good. Yeah, you can go check that out. It's just me, all by myself. Haha. And that's it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And then finally, our wonderful facilitator who wrangled our cats and our emotions through the last couple of hours. Viditya, could you help us? Could you tell us where we can find your stuff? Where can we get A Land Wants Magic? And any other updates or upcoming projects? I appreciate you're working quite hard on this, so you might be like, there's nothing else happening just now. But let us know where we can find your work.
I've been Viditya Voleti. You can find all my work basically everywhere at Viditya Voleti. .itch.io is where my games are. And me everywhere on all the platforms. But yeah, this was A Land Wants Magic. This is my world building game that is currently crowdfunding. It's being published by More Blueberries, Elliot Davis. We've been very lucky with the funding that we've had, but we're trying to just get we're almost at our stretch goal for making like the notebook really nice. There's you can get the game itself is going to be a cute pocket-sized A6 book, so it's like small, open spine. We're kind of book freaks, so we're like, yeah, let's get it. How nice can we make this book? And then we're trying to make the notebook that comes with it, where you can write down all of your games, worlds that you made together in. And then I'd love to also shout out, we just put out an update for the campaign, and if you go check it out, there are several other projects that aren't doing as well as we are. So if you have already backed or you're looking for other games, I would highly recommend going to check those out as well. And then that's kind of it. Oh, you can find it at alomrpg.world. That's ALOM-RPG.world. Elliot would get mad at me if I didn't say that out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously we'll put a link to it in all the chats and stuff. But it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry.
We'll clip it. We'll clip it and send it down. It's
I
okay.
see.
Yeah.
I see, Shaghik, you've got your little note. Then you had a prediction earlier. Are you going to share
what
the prediction is?
happened?
Yeah.
What didn't happen is what I should say.
Oh.
I know I have failed.
Oh.
No.
I said I will cry at 1 hour 43 minutes.
Oh. Man.
I got close at
got
around
close?
40 minutes, 50 minutes in,
Oh,
and
no.
then I got close again about 20 minutes ago. But I didn't cry.
Well, there you go. Well, we need to make it more emotional next time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll finish this off by saying hello. My name is Fiona. I'm the host of What Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast. We do lots of different RPG systems, just like the one you've seen here today, and also interviews with game designers as well. I'm also a part of the DM's book club, where we look at D&D. Big boo, I understand, but we also look at different other RPGs in there as well, including like today we've just released an episode of us talking about Eat the Reich as well. So we'd like to look at different RPG systems as well. I'm also 1/3 of the RPG Geeks, where we do different RPG systems, nerdy TTRPG show where we do fun facts and interesting stories. But yeah, all the links without in the show notes. But I just want to say a massive thank you to our wonderful cast, our wonderful facilitator as well. We've had such a great time, and yeah, something very different. I don't think it's so few times that we don't see real world building streams, and I very much appreciate it. And I think we've got such a really cool world, which I definitely, when I came into this, I was like, I have no idea what we're going to make. I can't believe we've got improv, emotions, despair, music, all these things in it. So yeah, no, well done team, very much appreciate it. With all that out of the way, we're going to wave awkwardly at the stream until I find the off button. But we'll see you guys next time, probably next month for another stream. But until then, keep safe, play more games, and yeah, we'll see you at some point in the future. Goodbye, friends.
Bye. Bye. Bye.